that one because of time. Mr. Speaker, the governor even went an extra mile and said that my hands are tied. You know, there are officers in this county government who are accused of mishandling that money. And one of the recommendations from the committee was that they be disciplined. Disciplining them means either they was going to be surcharged or made to repay the money that were paid to them. The governor came before the members of the public and said, I have no powers to discipline the chief officers and other officers who are mentioned. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about the governor who contradicts himself in so many occasions. And number two, this is a governor who demeans a honorable committee that was looking into issues of the victims of Londiani accident. Mr. Speaker, calling the other committee that was looking into Londiani accident compensation a funeral committee is something that, Mr. Speaker, I'm worried. Because one, that act alone amounts to violation of Article 10 of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, that is why I still insist before this House, Your Excellency, there is no choice, but when the time comes for us to vote, you need to exit this county, Mr. Speaker. I mean, the governor has to, the governor has to go. And Mr. Speaker, let me read number E. By his acts of omission and commission, the governor has grossly violated Article 75 of the Constitution, which demands that a state officer shall, whether in public or private, behave in a manner that avoids conflicts of interest between personal interest and the public or official interest, or compromises public interest in favor of personal interest. Number F, by overseeing the misappropriation of the funds aimed at assisting victims of the accident, the governor violated Article 73(2), which demands from him selfless service based solely on public interest, demonstrated by honesty in execution of his duties, accountability to the public, A, Roman 2 and 3 of the Constitution, which demands that he at all times demonstrate respect to the people and brings honor and dignity to the office he holds. Number H, by allowing himself and senior officials close to him to benefit from the funds, the governor violated Article 76(2)(b) of the Constitution, which prohibits a state officer from accepting a benefit in circumstances that compromise the integrity of the state officer. Number I, by failing to ensure that decision-making in the executive office of the county governor are not influenced by corruption, nepotism, and other callous improper motives, the governor has failed to exercise objectivity and impartiality, thus violating Article 73(2)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the acts of misappropriating and or abetting misappropriation of publicly raised funds is to be found in Roman number 1, the report on the investigation of Londiani accident victims fundraising held on 4th July 2024, KCA exhibit number 10, which is, the report is here, Mr. Speaker. Roman number 2, affidavits filed by the governor in Kericho ELCR petition number E014 of 2023 KCA exhibit number 11 and video clips numbered KCA V3, KCA V4 and KCA V5. Mr. Speaker, those are the clips that we played, and we will get to play now the one that whether the team was able to present it there, but we have them where the governor continues to contradict himself in the whole incident. And Mr. Speaker, lastly, when the committee sat in this house, Mr. Speaker, there was an accountant from the referral hospital who appeared before this committee. The governor had indicated that the county government of Kericho was going to foot all the medical bills. The county government of Nakuru, led by Governor Susan Kihiga, paid for all the victims of the accident. So there was nothing the county government of Kericho was paying. But from the report generated from the executive, led by the governor, County Referral Hospital, the accountant was called to ensure he come up with the bills, purposely for the governor to account how the money was used. Mr. Speaker, in one of these clips, not that one, of course he talked about that one. I want you to go to exhibit number what? Is it number 1? Yes, that one.
To add additional 4 markets and the market we are targeting is Mutahi, we are targeting Mutahi and 58 for those 4 additional. I wish also to indicate that as a county we have been able to move forward and close the capsule project, which is the county integrated agro-processing zone of value addition. The national government has given us 50 million. The county government of Kericho has equally partnered with the national government to another 50 million, and this approach will be 500 million, and we are going to have the capsule that is in solicited away. It's only open in the region and also value adding what has been seen in our farms. We're looking forward to do value addition in our potatoes, our sweet potatoes, our milk.
Let's be patient. It's almost getting to where we want.
That and we are still collaborating with the MCA of the community so that the remaining facility is around 7 million for its completion, together with Kericho and private investors. We're looking forward to be able to run and complete the project so that we can add our vegetables rate and then expand the product and the surrounding community. We are here because as a county we had a very serious project in Mutahi which saw a number of people lost. When we were on 52. And then went round the clock, reached out to...
Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Do you want us to continue that?
What I want is, or maybe I can explain, on what's there, the governor is making his commitment that the county government of Kericho was going to foot all the medical bills for the victims and the tent and anything that was going to be used throughout the whole exercise. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, from the report, the county government of Kericho, led by the governor, was able to pay Super Tricks 2.945 million shillings. Mr. Speaker, the county government of Kericho again budgeted for Londiani Sub-County Hospital and our Kericho Referral Hospital, and without blinking an eye, they also budgeted for the Nakuru PGH Hospital and Molo Sub-County Hospital. Mr. Speaker, why would you budget for what you had claimed the county government of Kericho was going to pay? Why would you use the same fund to meet the expenses which you had authoritatively stated in that clip that the county government of Kericho was going to foot? Mr. Speaker, in the whole exercise, the governor was trying to account for the misuse of the fund that was meant to be paid to the victims of the accident. We will, of course, get a clearer video of that that evidence we are adducing, because it is important. This is where we will not let the governor go, because when we went to Senate last time, Mr. Speaker, our case was not heard because of what most of our members know. So we are going to produce this as an evidence. The governor had the overall responsibility to ensure the fund was used prudently and to benefit the victims. Later on, Mr. Speaker, the governor, I want to believe in his own replying affidavit, is going to prove how he was able to retrieve or to get back the money that he eventually used to pay to the victims. However, Mr. Speaker, to date, there are victims of that accident who claim they have never been paid to date. Mr. Speaker, it is wrong, it is immoral, even to steal from the people who lost their loved ones. Number B.
Order, number one. Now that you take your seat, now that you have played a clip that is not clear and audible and not flowing, ensure that you perhaps you hand over to the office of the clerk a clear one, an audible one, and so that we, and the one that is flowing, so that we can also share with the governor. All right. Proceed.
I stand guided, Mr. Speaker. Number B, abuse of office. And Roman number 1, illegal appointments, unlawful dismissal and transfers, and usurpation of the constitutional and statutory functions of the county public service. Number 1, the governor has variously engaged in Roman number 1, gross misconduct, Roman number 2, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, 75, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution. And Roman number 3, gross violation of Section 17 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Governments Act, Section 4 of the Public Appointments, County Assemblies Approval Act of 2017, and variously abused his office by, number 1, skewed, uncompetitive, and nepotic appointments of the county employees of various cadres. For instance, the governor recently hired his own brother, one Victor Mutahi, as a revenue clerk. Similarly, the governor's personal assistant's wife, one Chepkirui Mercy, who was recently hired as a nurse on contract basis, was confirmed. Yet there are a number of nursing staff who have been serving on contract for long without confirmation. Number B, illegally appointing one Mrs. Alice Bett, now a judge of the High Court, as the county attorney when there was a substantive office holder, an act of which the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Lady Justice Wasilwa, affirmed was irregular and procedural and unlawful in Sang versus Governor Kericho County and two others. Petition E001 of 2023. In that case, the governor was found by the court to be in gross violation of Article 73 and 232 of the Constitution. His actions found to be illegal and unconstitutional, and ordered to pay costs of Kenya shillings 2 million and costs personally. The governor has therefore been already adjudged to be in gross violation of the law, and all the Assembly and the Senate. And this is very interesting, Mr. Speaker, because one, the governor was taken through the justice system, and the judge ruled that the governor violated Article 73 and 232 of the Constitution. And that means, Mr. Speaker, if the governor has been found to have violated the Constitution, you know, the governor stands adjudged. In this instance, Mr. Speaker, the governor even doesn't need to be brought to this house to be impeached. If a resident in this county was able to bring a petition, definitely the governor would cease holding office. Because one, why would you hire somebody when there is an office holder? And the petitioner successfully petitioned through the courts, and the governor was ruled to have violated the law. Him even being ordered to pay Kenya shillings 2 million personally was enough proof by the courts that the governor was found to have abused office. Number C, causing the advertisement of the positions of doctors, nurses, early childhood education ECD teachers, just to endear himself politically when he knew the county government did not have capacity to hire. The applicants were subsequently not shortlisted, or the alleged vacancies fill up. And this is what came up, I think, around 2023. We have the advert, Mr. Speaker, where so many positions were advertised, and they were never filled. It is only recently when the health workers were successfully recruited, but then the other cadres in education and all the other positions have never been filled up. Revenue clerks, the other day, Mr. Speaker, we appropriated as a house, and of course in consultation with the executive, and we were able to hire 30 revenue clerks. Mr. Speaker, the other positions that were advertised were never filled to date. The replacement of ECD teachers has never been done, despite the fact that the governor, through his authority in writing to the County Public Service Board for advertisement, they did that. People applied, they were never shortlisted or interviewed. Of course, Mr. Speaker, that is wrong. Number D, illegally deploying health staff via notice dated 22nd July 2024 without any justification, authority, and involvement of County Public Service Board, thus creating crisis in the health sector. And this was very interesting, Mr. Speaker, because one, the governor instructed the then county secretary for a number of transfers. Which were reversed when the Committee on Health, led by the Honorable Erick B, intervened. Of course, Mr. Speaker, the duty pursuant to County Governments Act, Section 69 and 72 of the County Governments Act, vests the authority to the various chief officers within the department to do the transfers. And 72 is for the county secretary to do the transfers across the departments. In that case, Mr. Speaker, the then county secretary did transfer. A number of them lost morale. Had it not been for the Committee on Health to intervene, perhaps, Mr. Speaker, service delivery was going to be hampered in this county. Number E, since he is among other senior county staff without compensation in damages, the governor has perpetuated this firing spree not for any reason but as a show of might, power, and authority. And that is where the abuse lies. Mr. Speaker, the worst one was last year in December, where the county executive members, 6 of them, were fired via a Facebook post by the governor. In fact, the governor quoted Section 40 of the County Governments Act. And that particular section has already been repealed by the Senate. Mr. Speaker, using a law that is non-existent to fire county executive members is something that we need to worry about. And you know, Mr. Speaker, we have a number of staff who've lost their jobs without any cause. Mr. Speaker, I know of CECs who are very young as the governor. Some of them are going through problems now. Their families are broken. The governor has never considered even a single thought about such employees. Mr. Speaker, why would the governor just wake up one morning, dismiss the CECs? And when he's asked why, there was an instance, and I'm happy, Your Excellency, you're here, where I was calling him to inform him, don't fire this particular officer. He told me, I'm the appointing authority. That was a phone call conversation. And then, Mr. Speaker, I wonder, why would you hire somebody who had a job, a well-paying job, 4 months down the line, you fire that particular individual? Case in point is Malel Kipruto, who was the TSE director in Turkana. The governor implored on him to come take up the job in the county government. This individual went through 4 departments within 4 months. He was hired. You know, Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the appointment committee. When the name of one Malel Kipruto came to this house, he was the CEC in charge of public service management. Hardly 1 month later, he was taken to ICT. A month and a half later, he was in charge of lands. How will this particular officer learn the ropes to be able to, you know, offer services to this county? Yes, Mr. Speaker, the governor has continued to abuse office by firing left, right, center officers he himself, you know, proposed through this house for them to be hired. This is the height of impunity, you know, that the governor has continued to show ever since he was elected. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, complicity in the foregoing acts of illegal appointments, unlawful dismissal and transfers, and usurpation of the constitutional and statutory functions of the county organs is to be found in, number 1, the judgment of Employment and Labor Relations Court in Kericho in the case of Collins Sang versus Governor Kericho County, and 2 others, petition E001 of 2023. And it was in 2024, the judgment actually was published. That is KCA exhibit number 12, from the governors and other staff, KCA exhibit number 13, Roman number 3, copies of bundles of sample court documents filed in various cases, KCA exhibit number 14. Mr. Speaker, remember all the CCs who've been fired have gone to court. They have active court cases. And, you know, most of these labor-related cases, oftentimes, the employer always loses the case, amounting to millions because of the number of people the governor has fired. Roman number 2, subversion, discrediting, and impeding of the oversight role of the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, number one, on 3rd of September 2024, the governor engaged in one gross misconduct, and Roma number two grossly violated the provisions of Article the office the governor holds. Further, legal actions of the governor, the county was condemned to pay costs. Mr. Speaker, we have the clip, and before we play, this is a case where the governor again lost. The proprietor of the parcel of land went to court. And this was funny, Mr. Speaker, so that you know it is wrong to get it wrong from the word go. This is day 2 after swearing in. The governor led a mob, tore down the fence of that particular proprietor. Even if the governor knew that the land is claimed to belong to the county, there is a due process. You don't repossess illegally, make it a dump site without any approval. And then when the proprietor went to court, he won the court case. The county is in contravention of chapter 6. I mean, that is, the integrity of the governor is already in question in day 2 when he was elected. Tell me, Mr. Speaker, why this governor should continue holding office, even with the judgment rendered by the court that he was in violation of the Constitution, that he forcefully entered into somebody's land, made it a dump site without any approval, Mr. Speaker. And that is why I'm here to say, members, giving him an opportunity, I do not know how this county will be run even until 2027. Number B, none of the dismissed CECs, CEOs, chiefs of staff, and other senior county staff were given fair administrative action, due process, hearing, thus violating the provisions of Articles 41, 47, Article 51 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, remember, even if you were to fire a CEC or a CEO, then you should be able to have accusations. I've seen CECs in other counties go to court and win the cases. I do not know for Kericho, because case in point, Mr. Speaker, is the December 23rd one, where the governor just updated a Facebook post, and days later he came up with letters of dismissal. The grounds to date is not known, but we will then prove, because they are our witnesses now. Mr. Speaker, in the case of Erick and the other 3, the governor actually messed up with their reputation. I want to bring to your attention, Mr. Speaker, Engineer Erick is a village boy who went to school, Kahaki Bay, Kapkeburu Primary, Kahaki Bay, as a day scholar, scored an A- from that small school, went to Kenyatta University, get the best grade. He worked, before even joining us, he had worked for Water Trust Fund. This is a young man who had ambitions. Now, firing him with a phrase of incompetence rendered the life of that young man useless. Mr. Speaker, this is a governor who wants to be given chance, yet whenever he has authority, he has never given chance to anybody who works for him. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, he's continued to run the affairs of this county is untenable. And I want to beseech members, when the time comes, let us act, with a lot of feelings to the many who've gone through the hard times through the leadership of this governor. Number C, the governor has persistently intimidated, molested, harassed county officers who do not sing to his tune, leaving officers jittery and creating an atmosphere of fear, uncertainty, and despondency in the county, and thus creating toxic work environment. This violates the principal provisions of Section 11 and 13 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. Number D, the governor has persistently used divisive and unbecoming language, which undermines the office he holds, contrary to Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. Number E, the acts of the governor enumerated above have collectively brought dishonor and disrepute into the office of the governor in violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the preceding acts of incitement, vilification of people and staff is to be found in number 1, affidavit of Joseph Langatkogo, sworn on 23rd September 2023 in support of the notice KCA exhibit number 17. Aroma number 2, judgment of ELC petition number E001 of 2022, Joseph Langatkogo versus the county government of Kericho. Number 9, we have the video clips. And Mr. Speaker, you've been able to see one. So, Mr. Speaker, to that far, we've come to the end of the motion. And before I call on the seconder of the motion, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the governor who is before us, pursuant to standing orders of this county assembly and Article 51 of the Constitution, fair hearing. Mr. Speaker, it is important that the governor knows that on various dates ever since he was elected, his actions has brought us this far. Mr. Speaker, there is a clip there that we will get a clear one, where the governor admitted while they were installing the new managing director of Kewasco, where he admitted in public and in camera that in Londiani's case, funds were lost. I'm waiting to see his replying affidavit because it's confirmed in series. And you know, he claimed I was still younger. Now that I've now known how to run the county. This is somebody who's confirmed his own wrongdoings. I want to urge the members, let us vote with conscience. We will save this county. And the county of government of Kericho will vindicate our actions in future and for the generations to come. To this, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the motion. And the second of the motion is Honorable Vincent Korir, the MCA representing Londiani Ward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Protester Honorable, before Honorable Vincent Korir takes to the floor, is the Deputy Speaker, first panelist, Honorable Philip. Yes, you can come over. As the Honorable Vincent Korir, as you will take the floor, you second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to second the motion. And before I second the motion, Mr. Speaker, I would like to contribute on what my colleague has stated. And this motion is not only historical, it is also going to have a test of integrity to this House, a test of integrity to the members, a test of integrity to the governor before us, and everyone else who has been entrusted with an office. Mr. Speaker, the issue of leadership, as in this motion, because we are testing the leadership, is being accountable. And we are discussing the issue of accountability. We want to look at the issue of accountability of the resources of the people of Kericho County and upholding the Constitution and rule of law. Mr. Speaker, Constitution of Kenya 2010, Article 73, states clearly on accountability, rule of law, service to the public, interest of the public over personal interest. And Mr. Speaker, the Constitution also gives us mandate as this House under Article 181, read together with Section 33 of County Government Act. And this article gives this House mandate and authority to act wherever there is abuse of office, whenever there is gross misconduct, on the question of governor and even any other leader. It's also stated on the actions that can be taken if there is breach of leadership. Mr. Speaker, this motion clearly also will test us as members of this House, Mr. Speaker, because when you hear about the issues of fictitious payments, I, representing the people of Londiani, I will not tolerate a farmer who woke up very early in the morning, as I stated before, when this motion was being tabled, that I cannot tolerate the farmer who woke up to queue behind us and to support us to be given under supply of goods and services, yet they are supposed to get fair share of their resources and the revenue and taxes that we are appropriating in this House. Mr. Speaker, I will not tolerate that as a member. Mr. Speaker, there are issues that have been touched on corruption. There are issues of fake tenders. There are issues of inflated projects. There are issues, Mr. Speaker, of impunity. Last time, I don't have a word to call this because fictitious payments will attract even the worst names like thuggery, theft, and robbery, because that's not what we should entertain as a House. Mr. Speaker, consequently, when you break these laws, for instance, the governor, the law says you will be impeached. For a public officer, you will be disqualified. You will still be prosecuted and the assets should be recovered. That is what the law says. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of leadership, it is not just a constitutional requirement. It is a test of a character of a person. And our silence in this House, Mr. Speaker, will not absolve us. The people are watching. History will judge us. And if money was stolen, then it means there is a hospital that is lacking drugs, there is a road that is not being repaired, and there is a Mambomboga now, currently, who is suffering out there because they have not received. There is a farmer who has not received the services that are required. Mr. Speaker, as a House, we have that mandate to interrogate these issues, to look. That is why we have the reports on the pending bills. We have the reports of Auditor General. We have the reports of fictitious payments. We have the reports on Londiani accident victims. We have deliberated as a House because we are doing the oversight, the role that we are mandated to do. And I believe today is a day because for the governor, all these reports, I believe they normally say documents have facts and facts don't lie. And I believe whatever was documented here had facts. And we cannot divert attention to try and blame any other person. Because I saw in the clips played by my colleague here, where the governor was praising the committee and giving them good names. And later when the facts came out, the names of the committees changed to other names, name calling. We want to believe that in this House, we want to see facts. Mr. Speaker, on the fictitious payments, the 85 million, I'm very sad because a contractor was paid way in advance before even the services are delivered. Where on earth can someone do this? When we have genuine contractors who have done excellent job and they have never been paid for a very long period of time, they are still waiting to be paid. And I want to thank the whistleblower because if the whistleblower could not have mentioned all this, then it means whatever was being supplied to Toroch time last week could not have been supplied. Whatever was supposed to be supplied to Ruskebe, that is in our sub-county, could not have been supplied. Then it means whistleblowers are very important. We should thank the whistleblower for giving us this information as a House. And we took the right step of investigating, looking at the documents, and it was done in public. It was all over in our social media. Everybody who has interest will have followed. And even the public told me, some of the members of the public told me, before the fictitious payments were being done, already the public had a report on their own, and they could be able to analyze the report. So it means, Mr. Speaker, these issues of gross misconduct, gross violation of the Constitution, is a test of our leadership. And today, Governor, before us, you see, I was elected by the people of Londiani, and I know my mandate is to do the oversight and representation. That doesn't affect the friendship, maybe between the governor and the MCA. But we have to put you in check and balance. And it is our role. It is not anything to do with politics. It is not anything to do with personal differences. But I'm doing my mandate as the area member of County Assembly from Londiani. And I'm representing that Mambomboga, or that person who queued before to elect us. Honorable members, it is not that we are the best in leadership. There are others who are supposed to be elected. But people trusted us. They've given us trust to elect us to represent them. And that is the mandate that I'm going to discharge. Honorable Governor, Your Excellency, the issues mentioned, I'll leave alone the issue of all those stories. Let's pick one point of the housing in Kericho, where a contractor, when there was a whistleblower was done, a contractor rushed at night. If it was not for the members of the public, then the contractor could have rushed there to do some job, so that it can appear that work was going on. Yet there was nothing going on. Money already was paid long way ago. Honorable members, it is our duty, and we are being watched. Not only in our county, we are being watched across the country. And it is our duty. If we fail today to send Excellency Governor Mutahi home, then we are giving a leeway to the governors to assume that if they have some political support or small support, then it is their way to continue with corruption. We will never allow that. Mr. Speaker, when you talk of the issue of dismissed 10 CECs, 6 CEOs, 2 chiefs of staff, then my question is it coincidence? It cannot be coincidence, Mr. Speaker, sir. This alone. And I want to actually speak to the governor that when there are rats in your store, and the rats are raiding your maize that you have harvested for your children, you don't call people to come and burn the store, plus the maize and the rats. You kill the rat, and you remain with the store and the maize. Mr. Speaker, you see, there are doctrines. There is a doctrine of leadership, where a leader, if you are the head of or in authority, you are held liable for whatever your staff are doing. That is doctrine of leadership. If I'm a manager and there is a supervisor who has done repeatedly some issues, for example, stealing, then it means I'm the problem. And it's me who's supposed to step down or resign or be sacked. So to you, Your Excellency Governor, on the issue of Londiani accident, this is so touching to me because this is in the area where I come from. I managed to witness whatever happened during that day, that time. And actually, I don't want to describe the events that took place, but the saddest of all is when the fundraising was done, I was part and parcel, we contributed, and eventually the money was lost. To me, that money was supposed to be helping those victims who had already died, some were injured. And to my surprise, there was also a whistleblower during that time. And true to the reality, the money was lost and it was misused when there is a family who are waiting to buy their victim. And you see the members of the public could not do a fundraising since they knew that already there was a fundraising held nationally. And it took time for that family. I remember I was in the ad hoc committee. We went through the committee, we looked at the details, and shocking enough, the promises that were made by the governor to waive the bills was never realized. In the real sense, that money was used in different way. If you can look at the details, I remember those people who were in the committee. If you can go into the details, then it is shocking because some of the final details could not even match. Some of the expenditures could not tally. The officers who are called here to come and answer the questions, some could even cry, and even they wanted to be seen in camera because there were issues that were being done behind the camera. Mr. Speaker, in this House, as the Assembly, we must act, and the action is today. And any member who is here should be convinced beyond doubt, because this report has facts. Mr. Speaker, the issue of Mutahi, I remember in May 2024, there were some 5 companies that were mentioned adversely in Mutahi program. I'm a member of Lands Committee. As a committee member, we looked at the reports, and truly, you could find that there are so many irregularities that happened in this program, the Mutahi programs. Some of the people who were recruited were never even paid. Some of the companies were not pre-qualified. And currently, there is a report, a preliminary report from the ESCC, which show that truly funds was used in an irregular manner, and the companies, 7 companies were actually involved in misappropriation of the funds. This is a loss of funds. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are called to serve the people. We are serving the Constitution and God. Mr. Speaker, as I submit, as I second Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge this House that today, having convened today to debate on this motion, I would like to urge honorable members that with your conviction, with the facts before us, that we do the necessary and vote to remove the governor of Kericho County from office, so that we can continue to uphold leadership and integrity as required. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to continue much, but I would like to say that I am standing with the people, and I'm standing for justice. I second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Vincent Korir. Honorable members, now the motion have been moved and seconded. I now propose a question pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 65-1, which is, you will bear with me, I'll have to read the motion verbatim, but I'll be very fast. Special motion proposed removal from office of the Governor for Kericho County, Honorable Dr. Erick Mutahi, by impeachment. By Honorable Kiprotich Rogony, elected member of the County Assembly of Kericho, Sigawit Ward. Honorable Speaker, I beg with the support of members of the County Assembly of Kericho, the County Assembly, whose names and signatures I have annexed here to, as an extra one, to move the motion for impeachment of His Excellency, Honorable Erick Mutahi, the Governor of Kericho County, for Roman number 1, gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya. Roman number 2, gross violation of various national and county laws. Roman number 3, serious reasons for believing that the governor has committed crimes under national law. Roman number 4, abuse of office. And Roman number 5, gross misconduct. The specific grounds of motion are organized thematically as outlined below and elaborated in the ensuing pages of this motion. The evidence in support of the motion is set out in 1. Affidavit in support of this motion duly sworn on 5th August 2025 by Honorable Kiprotich Rogony. Exhibits annexed to his affidavit in support of the motion. 3. The witness statements affidavits to be presented at the hearing of this motion. Further, the affidavit presented here verifies the accuracy and reliability of exhibits to the motion. Whereas Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, hereinafter the Constitution, restates the supremacy of the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic and binds all persons and state organs at both levels of government. Article 10 of the Constitution, Section 3 and 16 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 and Section 9, 10 and 12 of the Public Officer Ethics Acts 2003 establish, among others, the rule of law, democracy, human dignity, courtesy, respect, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, probity, professionalism, non-discrimination, protection of marginalized, good governance, transparency, and accountability as part of national values and principle of governance. Article 10, 73 and 75 of the Constitution requires state officers at all times, whether in public or private life, to behave in a manner that inter alia brings honor to the nation and dignity of the office of the state officer holds, portray selfless service based solely on the public interests, demonstrated by honesty in execution of public duties and declaration of any personal interest that may conflict with public interest, ensures decisions made by the state officer are not influenced by nepotism, favorism, and improper motives, demonstrate discipline and commitment in service to the people, and 4, avoids demeaning the office that the state officer holds. By dint of Section 11 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, enjoins the governor as a state officer to treat members of the public and other public officer with courtesy and respect, and further, by dint of Section 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, the governor, being a state officer, is precluded from bullying any person by engaging in a behavior that is vindictive, cruel, malicious, humiliating, and is intended to undermine a person. Article 73, 2, D and E of the Constitution provides for accountability of a state officer to the public for all decisions made in exercise of the powers of the office they hold, and that accountability is a critical principle of leadership and integrity. Article 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution and Section 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act 2012 provide for the values or principles of public service and establish an elaborate framework for the establishment of county public officers and the recruitment, employment, and dismissal of county public officers. Article 179(4) of the Constitution reaffirms the governor's position as the chief executive of the county. Hence, the Constitution and the law vest primary responsibility for decision making and ensuring the well-being of the county on the governor. This is a strong expression of the county governor's commitment and expectation to provide effective leadership, strategic vision, and direction to the county in ensuring efficient and prudent use of public resources for the good of the county. Number 8, Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and Standing Order Number 70 and 70A of Standing Orders of the County Assembly of Kericho provides for the impeachment of the governor on grounds of gross violation of Constitution, gross violation of other written laws, where there are serious reasons for believing that the county governor has committed a crime under national or international law, gross misconduct, and abuse of office. Number 9, Articles 201, 205, and 207 of the Constitution forms a constitutional basis that guide the counties in raising and utilization of public finances. In particular, Article 207 establishes the County Revenue Fund and clearly stipulates that money shall not be withdrawn from the Revenue Fund unless the Controller of Budget has approved. Number 10, Section 33 of the County Government Act obligates the governor to provide leadership in county governance, be accountable for the management and use of county resources, and to promote, amongst others, good governance and competitiveness of the county. Number 11, the governor has in various instances failed to take charge and rein on the rot, corruption, and unethical practices in the county. Instead, the governor has deliberately aided, abetted, condoned, and encouraged the misuse, misappropriation, misallocation, wanton theft, and pilferage of county finances. Number 12, the governor has in multiple occasions directly and indirectly engaged in acts and conduct which severally and collectively constitute gross violation of Constitution, gross violation of other written laws, gross misconduct, and abuse of office. By his acts and conduct, the governor has exposed the office of the governor, the assembly, and the people of Kericho to ridicule, embarrassment, shame, and disrepute. 14, the conduct of the governor has been scandalous and embarrassing to the high office of the county governor, an office held in public trust and whose authority to be exercised in a manner consistent with the purpose and objects of the Constitution. Honorable members, I remind you we are standing orders when the chair is on it, no movement. 15, the conduct of the governor has made it impossible for the county to be governed as it ought to be, comprise service delivery, and jeopardize the functions of both arms of county government of Kericho. It has therefore become untenable for the governor to continue being in office. 16, the governor has variously committed constitutional wrongs that subvert the structure of government and undermine the integrity of office and even the constitutional itself. The significant effects of the conduct, i.e. undermining the integrity of office, disregard of constitutional duties and oath of office, arrogation of power, and abuse of government process, has had an adverse impact on the running and administration of Kericho County government. And number 17, the governor has continued to stay in office, has and will continue to undermine effective service delivery to the detriment of the people of Kericho County, in whose trust the governor holds the office. The Assembly resolves to impeach the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and Standing Order number 70 and 70A of the Kericho County Assembly Standing Orders on the following grounds. A. Gross violation of the Constitution and other laws. That is, gross violation of Constitution of the Republic of Kenya 2010, the County Government Act 2012, Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, the Public Finance Management Act 2012, and Kericho County laws. 1. Misappropriation and misallocation of county finances. On various occasions since his election as a governor and subsequent assumption of office, the governor has engaged in various acts of gross violation of Article 10, 183, and 201 of the Constitution, Section 102 and 109 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A, and the provision of the Kericho County Rating Act number 5 of 2019 as follows. Roman 1, fictitious payment of works, goods, and services. Between January 2025 and July 2025, the governor engaged in gross violations of Articles 10, 183, 201, 207, and 208 of the Constitution, and Sections 102, 109, and 110 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, and Section 33F of the County Government Act 2012. The governor aided, abetted, and or condoned the fictitious payment of goods, services, and works which were neither delivered nor done, occasioning the county loss of Kenya shillings 85,704,522.90 in A. Services which were not rendered and or partially done, e.g. maintenance of 15 residential houses in Kericho and WhatsApp County at a cost of 2,999,000. B. Goods not delivered, including soya beans, maize jam, sunflower and seed cake, and cotton seed cake, alleged to have been supplied for Kenya shillings 14,998,640. C. Overpriced goods, including sodas, alleged to have been bought for about Kenya shillings 500 shillings per 300 millimeters bottle, and a bale of tissue paper alleged to have been bought for Kenya shillings 2,750 per bale of 10 tissue papers, and a hand towel priced at Kenya shillings 3,600. D. Works, goods, and services alleged to have been procured for Kenya shillings 5,172,715.60 from companies including Mengro Products Limited, Ildama Construction and Supplies Limited, Brisa Construction and Supplies Limited, Prospera Ventures Limited, and IBM Pro Construction Limited, without any supporting documents. And E. Payment of contractors from the retention account for the works done more than 5 years ago, some of which companies had already been paid, and therefore misappropriating county funds through double payments. 2. Some of the goods, services, and works were procured without following the procurement processes. No tender opening committees were formed contrary to Section 78 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, as read together with Regulation 25 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulations 2020. Similarly, there were no professional opinions done to the accounting officers contrary to Section 84 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. 3. There was deliberate circumvention of competitive tendering of the same goods, services, and works by splitting of contracts to suit the request for quotation method, thus violating Section 54 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, as read together with Regulation 43 of Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulations 2020. 4. Most of the goods, services, and works were procured outside the approved budget as required under Section 442A of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. 5. The documents used by the departments were not clear and did not bear references to the procurement requirement, provision of dates, especially invoices generated and signatures of respective officers. There was therefore blatant violation of the provision of Regulation 68 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulation 2020. Number 6. No market survey was conducted as required under Regulation 43.4 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulation 2020. The contractors therefore supplied goods with exorbitant prices, contrary to Section 54.2 of Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. 7. All the subject goods, services, and works were paid for in advance, yet the county has accumulated pending bills over the last 3 years of Kenya shillings 1.1 billion, which have been verified and are yet to be paid from the time the governor assumed office. 8. The report of the ad hoc committee on alleged fictitious payments, tabled before the Assembly on 5th August 2025, made pertinent and damning findings and recommendations that point out to the deliberate failure to act, neglect of duty, and even conspiracy on the part of the governor, to wit: A. The documents shared with the ad hoc committee by the departmental heads called to testify were not accompanied by E-Team's invoice. This lends credence to the suspicion that the documents may have been prepared to cover up the theft after the whistle was blown. B, payments were made in advance before goods, services, and works were delivered or done, and as at the date of tabling of the report, some of the goods, services, and works remain undelivered to date. C, documents that were used to process payments, both the signatures that could not be authenticated. Subsequently, certain officers whose signatures appear in the said documents have denounced the documents. D, the gaps highlighted in the report point to serious governance concern and weak internal controls in Kericho County that the appointing authority, i.e. the governor, policymakers, accounting officers, and indeed all the officers entrusted to deliver services to the county have failed to do so as required by the law. E, there was an intention to defraud the county in violation of the Constitution 2010, Public Finance Management Act 2012, County Government Act 2012, Leadership and Integrity Act, the Powers and Privileges County Assemblies Act, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. Under Article 179 of the Constitution and Section 33F of the County Government Act 2012, the governor has the overall responsibility of being accountable for the management and use of county resources. 10, it is a matter of public notoriety that when the whistle was blown on these fictitious payments, the governor on 26 July 2025, while attending a function at Kamalok village in Cheboinward, rubbished the claims and called for stern action against the whistleblower. This shows someone who is either unaware of the happenings in the county or was deeply involved in the scandal. Roman number 2, misappropriation of National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project, NAV-CDP funds. 11, on various dates between year 2023 and 2025, the governor has violated the provisions of Article 10, 183, 201, 207, and 208 of the Constitution and Section 48 and 159 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Section 33F of the County Government Act 2012 by aiding, abetting, condoning, and or overseeing the massive looting, pilferage, misappropriation, and misallocation of NAV-CDP funds amounting to over Kenya shillings 351 million as at 10th June 2025. 12, from the report of the Committee of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Cooperative Management, Tourism and Wildlife on the implementation status of the National Agriculture Value Chain Development Project, NAV-CDP, in Kericho County, tabled in the County Assembly on 6 August 2025, the County Assembly noted the following discrepancies in the use of Fund A. The expenditure was used for farmers' cooperative societies, farmer producer organizations, found only in 19 out of 30 wards in Kericho County. This implies that the funds were meant for agripreneurs, whose role was to enumerate farmers and organize them into circles, was not adequately utilized. B, each ward circle was meant to get Kenya shillings 1 million, yet the committee found out that of the 19 circles under the program, only 7 have ever received financial support since the inception of the fund. C, it is further indicated in the report that some circles received nominal support in kind or form of office furniture and some farm inputs, while others have never received any support. D, even though circles and farmer producer organizations which received support in kind did not receive delivery notes when the furniture, computers, and other supplies were delivered, and they cannot therefore ascertain the prices, source, and therefore quality of what was supplied. E, procurement of furniture and equipment under NAV-CDP program was conducted centrally with minimal involvement of key stakeholders. This does not only undermine the principle of transparency in procurement, decision-making, and lack of ownership, but also created room for pilferage and misappropriation of the funds. 13, the office furniture and equipment supplied under the NAV-CDP program are largely of substandard quality. There was therefore no value for money and compliance with Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, particularly Section 124, which obligates the procuring entity to select quality and cost-based selection QCBS method as the preferred method to be used to evaluate proposals. 14, the manner in which the few projects which were implemented were done show that they were done without following the project implementation manual published by the World Bank to guide the implementation of the projects. 15, again the governor cited all his overall responsibility under Article 179(4) of the Constitution and Section 33F of the County Government Act 2012 to bear accountable for the management and use of county resources. 16, there is evidence that the governor has been ordering withdrawals from the fund for reasons other those for which the fund was created by the donor. Evidence of this shall be availed at the hearing and consideration of the motion. Mover will be asked the Assembly to issue an order, Article 195(2)(b) of the Constitution and Section 27(1)(c) and 2 of the County Assemblies and Powers Privileges Act 2027, compelling the relevant banks where the funds were drawn to furnish this House with a bank statement showing the withdrawals of the funds from 2023 to date. Number 3, misappropriation of funds and an unfair distribution of projects funds under financing locally led climate action FLOCA fund. 17, on various dates between the year 2023 and 2025, governor has violated the provisions of Article 10, 179, 183, 201, 207 and 208 of the Constitution and Section 102 and 107 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Section 33F of the County Government Act 2012 by presiding over unfair, skewed and nepotic distribution of projects under FLOCA funds, imprudent use, misappropriation and misallocation of FLOCA fund as follows. A, skewed and unfair distribution of projects under the fund with the governor's home ward, namely Chilma South ward, alone getting projects worth Kenya shillings 21,701,590 shillings, while there are many other wards, not only in other sub-counties, but even in Bureti sub-county, which have received not a single project under the fund. This nepotically skewed distribution of projects under the fund violates the national values and principle of governance and under Article 10 of the Constitution, and in particular the values of equity, non-discrimination, equality, good governance, integrity, transparency and accountability, the principle of public finance under Chapter 12 of the Constitution, as well as the provisions of Section 102 and 107 of the Public Finance Management Act, which enjoins the governor to ensure fiscal responsibility and adherence to the values and principles of the Constitution in the management of county funds. B, Joint Committee on Water and Sanitation, Environment, Energy, Forestry and Natural Resources, in the report on the implementation status of FLOCA programs, noted that some projects under the fund, namely Chemamul Water Project in Kabianga, Water and Environment Projects in Serete Cheptoro Ward, Thorough Tight Cooperative Society, Milikuling Plan in Kapsaos Ward, Soliat Water Tree Nursery Establishment Project in Soliat Ward, and Donyo Mare Borehole Water Project and the Laitich Water Project in Soliat Ward are marked as 100% complete, yet there are either defects in the works, incomplete and substandard works. 18. As a result of this unfair distribution of projects, wards like Cheblanget, Litein, Chai, Kibor, Chichila and Konyak did not get even a single project in all the categories under the fund, namely environment, agriculture and water. Number 4, misappropriation of county funds under Equalizer Kazi Mtaani initiative. Number 19, on or about 14 February 2023, governor engaged in gross violation of Articles 10, 183, 201, 207 and 208 of the Constitution and Section 102, 109 and 110 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 by launching a program dubbed Equalizer Kazi Mtaani initiative and drawing county funds towards the initiative without a legislation to anchor the initiative, public participation, prior approval of the county assembly and the control of budget, and prior approval of the budget and appropriation committee approval. 20. Under the fund, a total of Kenya shillings 39 million were paid without proper tendering, local service orders, and for the services which were not delivered. 21. County Assembly's report on the ad hoc committee on Kazi Mtaani pointed out various violations of the Constitution and the law in the rolling out of the implementation of the initiative. However, the governor deliberately disregarded the report and it has hitherto not been implemented. 22. The deliberate failure, omission and unwillingness to implement the report of the County Assembly on Equalizer Kazi Mtaani initiative undermines devolution, the doctrine of separation of powers, and is therefore antithetical to the values or principles of governance under Article 10 of the Constitution, the objects of devolution, and Article 74 of the Constitution. Number 5, misappropriation of funds under the Strategic Intervention Projects, SIPs. 23, in various dates due to the financial year 2024-2025, governor engaged in gross violation of Article 10, 183, 201, 207, and 28 of the Constitution, and Sections 102, 109, and 110 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 by overseeing misappropriation of various projects under the Strategic Intervention Projects Fund. For instance, that's number 24, the project for upgrading of Konyak Dispensary to Health Center, which is a retender project for the construction and renovation of various facilities within the health center by MS Belitra Enterprises Limited for Kenya shillings 44,756,846, a total of Kenya shillings 8,575,186 has been paid for no works done. Indeed, when the County Assembly's Committee on Implementation visited the site, they found the contractor had only supplied materials, contrary to the Finance Department report to the Assembly that the kitchen and staff house was at walling stage while the MCH is at slab level. Number 6, other violations of the Constitution and the law. 25, the President and former Chief County Executive Committee members and Chief Officers have variously reported coercion by the Governor to make financial allocations for Governor's own use from the funds allocated to their respective departments, and which funds were required to remit through the Governor's personal assistance. 26, violation of Article 201 A, D, E of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 on principles of public finance management, and Article 226 as read with Article 227 of the Constitution by the presiding over glaring irregularities evidenced by A, irregular award of contracts and evasion of accountability, B, willfully interfering in the procurement processes and the award of tenders, C, skewed tender awards to various contractors at inflated rate in collusion with fraudulent contractors and suppliers, D, irregular implementation and unfair distribution of various programs in the county, and E, intentionally and negligently presiding over massive theft of county public funds as evidenced by Auditor General's report for the preceding financial years, which have raised red flags over various projects. 27, on 15th August 2023, the governor compensated the victims of Londiani accident from the county emergency fund to cover up for the funds raised by the public and misappropriated by a committee he had formed to steer the fund drive, and without cogent explanation of how the funds publicly raised for the victims had been expended. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the aforementioned acts of misappropriation, misallocation, and illegal drawings of county revenue and county finances is to be found in Roman number 1, report of ad hoc committee on alleged fictitious payments, KCA Exhibit 01. Roman number 2, a bundle of sample vouchers, payment requisitions, delivered notes, LSOCTC on the payments, KCA Exhibit number 2. And Roman number 3, joint committee reports of county assembly on implementation status of national agricultural value chain development project, NAP-CDP in Kericho, county, KCA Exhibit 03. Roman number 4, World Bank project implementation manual for NAP-CDP, KCA Exhibit number 4. 5, joint committee report on the implementation status of FLOCA programs, KCA Exhibit number 5. 6, report on the ad hoc committee on Kazi Mutahi, KCA Exhibit 06. Roman number 7, committee on implementation report on the motion of strategic intervention projects, KCA Exhibit 07. A bundle of vouchers for the payment of various projects under strategic intervention projects, KCA Exhibit 08. Affidavits of Mr. Erick, KCA Exhibit 09, and video clips MAC KAV 01 and KAV 02. 2, misappropriation and or abetting misappropriation of the funds publicly raised for the victims of Londiani accidents. 1, on various days between 4 July 2023 and 9 July 2023, the governor grossly violated the provisions of Article 10, 73 and 75 of the Constitution and Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. A, by A, overseeing misappropriation of funds raised for the victims of horrendous Londiani Junction accident tragedy, in which over Kenya shillings 9 million of public raised funds were lost. B, reneging on his undertaking to implement the report of the County Assembly's ad hoc committee formed to probe the misappropriation of funds meant for the victims of the accident. There is evidence that the governor filed a suit and or supported a suit by those implicated in the report of the County Assembly's ad hoc committee in Kericho, ELRC petition number E006 of 2023, Dr. Wesley Bor and 5 others versus the governor, Kericho County Government and others, and Kericho ELRC petition number E014 of 2023, Victor Tum and others versus the governor, Kericho County Government and others. C, being personally and directly complicit in the flawed award of direct tenders for service providers during the fundraiser and requiem mass of the victims of the accidents. D, the county governor has in this regard committed numerous and various acts in the course of his duties that are contrary to and in violation of the Constitution and the laws of Kenya. These include Roman number 1, the authenticity of various payments made cannot be confirmed. The fact that the exact amount of money expended from the sum collected during the fundraiser points to impropriety and suggests a clear fraud on those whom the funds ought to have been benefited. 2, a total of Kenya shillings 13,682,760 was collected at the fundraiser. A sum of Kenya shillings 423,000 was purportedly expended as pastors' facilitation, transport refund, field preparation, lunches and refreshments, printing, publishing and radio announcement. Other payments that were approved from the fund were Kericho County Referral Hospital 2,037,524, Londiani Hospital Kenya shillings 1,534,190, Supertix Limited Kenya shillings 2,945,000, Supershine Limited Kenya shillings 411,000, Raise Hotel Kenya shillings 100,000, County Commissioners Fuel Kenya shillings 300,000. Roman number 3, that when Kenyans from all walks of life voluntarily made contributions to aid the victims of the tragedy, it was never intended or anticipated that the funds would be misappropriated with the blessings of the governor, who had a higher calling to ensure the money is accounted to the last coin and on whom the people bestowed their trust. Roman number 4, the governor issued contradictory statements insofar as the use of the funds is concerned. The contradictory statements point out his complicity in the matter. 5, while the governor is on record indicating that the medical bills for all the victims will be waived and taken care of by the county government, it is not clear why money had not been paid out from the fund collected while the governor is on record indicating that the medical bills for all the victims will be waived and taken care of county government, it is not clear why money had to be paid out from the fund collected to various public hospitals against the express and equivocal representations of the governor. Order, honorable members, that request, clerk, is in order. It is granted. You can proceed. Number E. By his acts of omission and commission, the governor has grossly violated the provision of Article 75 of the Constitution, which demands that a state officer shall, whether in private or in public, behave in a manner that avoids conflict of interest between personal interest and public or official interest, or compromises public interest in favor of personal interest. F. By overseeing the misappropriation of funds aimed at assisting the victims of the accident, the governor violated Article 73(2), which demand from him selfless service based solely on public interest, demonstrated by honesty in execution of his duties, accountability to the public for decisions and actions, and discipline and commitment in service. G. By allowing himself to be a master of doublespeak in such a grave matter that shook the conscience of the nation, the governor violated Article 73(1)(a), Roman 2(3) of the Constitution, which demand that he at all times demonstrate respect to people and brings honor and dignity to the office he holds. H. By allowing himself and senior officials to close to him to benefit from the funds, the governor violated Article 76(2)(b) of the Constitution, which prohibits a state officer from accepting a benefit in circumstances that compromise the integrity of the state officer. I. By failing to ensure the decision-making in executive office of the county governor are not influenced by corruption, nepotism, and other callous and improper motives, the governor has failed to exercise objectivity and impartiality, thus violating Article 73(2)(b) of the Constitution 2010. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the acts of misappropriating and or abetting the misappropriation of publicly raised funds is to be found in Roman number 1, report on investigation of Rondiani victims, fundraising held on 4 July 2024, KCA exhibit number 10, Roman number 2, affidavit filed by governor in Kericho ELC, petition 014 of 2023, KCA exhibit number 11, and video clips numbered KCA V3, KCA V4, and KCA V5. B. Abuse of office. Roman number 1, illegal appointments and lawful dismissals and transfers, and usurpation of the constitutional and statutory functions of the county public service. 1. The governor has variously engaged in gross misconduct and gross violation of Article 10, 73, 75, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution. Gross violation of Section 17 of the Public Officer Ethics, Section 55, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act, Section 4 of the Public Procurement Appointments, County Assembly's Approval Act 2017, and variously abuses of his by A, skewed and competitive and nepotic appointments of the county employees of various cadres. For instance, Governor recently hired his own brother, one Victor Mutahi, as a revenue clerk. Similarly, the governor's personal assistant's wife, one Chief Mercy, who was recently hired as a nurse on contract basis, was confirmed, yet there are a number of nursing staff who have been serving on contract for long without confirmation. B. Illegally appointing one Mrs. Alice Bate, now judge of the High Court, as a county attorney when there was a substantive office holder, an act which the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Honorable Lady Justice Wasilwa, affirmed was irregular and procedural and unlawful in Sang versus Governor, Kericho County, and 2 others, petition E001 of 2023. In that case, the governor was found by the court to be in gross violation of Article 73 and 232 of the Constitution. His actions found to be illegal, unconstitutional, and ordered to pay cost of Kenya shillings 2 million and cost personally. The governor has therefore been already adjudged to be in gross violation of the law and all the Assembly and the Senate. C. Causing the advertisement of the position of doctors, nurses, early childhood education, ECD teachers just to endear himself politically when he knew the county government did not have capacity to hire. The applicants were subsequently not shortlisted, nor the alleged vacancies filled up. D. Illegally deploying health staff by notice by the notice dated 22nd July 2024 without any justification, authority and involvement of County Service Board, thus creating a crisis in the health sector. Since his assumption of office, the governor has dismissed a total of 10 county executive committee members, 6 chief officers, 2 chiefs of staff, among other senior county staff, without any cause or reason, thus exposing the county to protracted litigation and the risk of huge compensation in damages. The governor has perpetuated this firing spree not for any reason but as a show of might, power and authority, and that is where the abuse lies. Evidence of the governor's engagement in connivance and complicity in the foregoing acts of illegal appointments, unlawful dismissals and transfers, and usurpation of constitutional and statutory functions of county organs is to be found in Roman number 1, Judgment of Employment and Labor Relations Court in Kericho, case of Colin Sang versus Governor, Kericho County, and 2 others, petition E001 of 2023-2024, KEELRC, KCEA, Exhibit 12, number 12, Roman number 2, a bundle of notices from Governor dismissing CCs, COs and other staff, KCA, Exhibit number 13, Roman number 3, copies of bundles of sample of court documents filed in various cases, KCA, Exhibit 14. And number 2, subversion, discrediting and impeding of oversight role of the County Assembly. On 3rd September 2024, Governor engaged in gross misconduct and grossly violated provision of Article 10, 73, 75, 174 and 185 of the Constitution and abused his office by writing to the Speaker, purporting to direct the Speaker on inter alia the timelines the Speaker should give the chief officers who are summoned by the Assembly for questioning in exercise of the Assembly's oversight mandate. Evidence of the Governor's engagement, connivance and complicity in the foregoing acts of subversion, discrediting and impeding of the oversight role of the County Assembly is to be found in Roman number 1, a letter by the Governor dated 20th August addressed to the Speaker, to the County Assembly of Kericho, KCA, Exhibit number 15, and a letter from the Speaker to the Governor dated 3rd September 2024, KCA, Exhibit number 16. C. Gross misconduct. Roman number 1, bullying, incitement, vilification of people and county staff. 1. On various occasions, the Governor has repeatedly engaged in gross misconduct and gross violation of the provision of Article 10, 73 and 75 of the Constitution and Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. By A, the Governor has been operating with impunity as though he is above the law. On the second day of being sworn into office, the Governor led a mob to invade a private land owned by one Mr. Joseph Kiblangat Kogo within Kericho town and tore down the fence. The Governor has since designated the subject land as an illegal dump site operated by the county government without the consent of the registered proprietor, National Environment Managing Authority NEMA approval, gazettement by the county designating the parcel as dump site, and in total disregard of a court order issued by Environment and Land Court in Kericho in ELC petition number E001 of 2022, Josiah Kiblangat Kogo versus County Government of Kericho. The Governor has also obstructed the enforcement of the orders by the police administration. The actions are illegal, contemptuous to the authority and dignity of the court and the rule of law, and ethical and demeaning the office the Governor holds. Further, as a result of the illegal actions of the Governor, the county was condemned to pay the cost. B. None of the dismissed CCs, chief officers, chief of staff, and other senior county staff who have given fair administrative due process and hearing, thus violating the provision of Articles 41, 47, 51 of the Constitution. C. The Governor has persistently intimidated, molested, harassed county officers who do not sing to his tune, leaving officers jittery and creating an atmosphere of fear, uncertainty and despondency in the county, and thus creating a toxic environment, work environment. This violates the provision of Section 11 and 13 of the Leadership and Integrity Act of 2012. D. The Governor has persistently used divisive language, divisive and unbecoming language, which undermines the office he holds contrary to Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. E. The acts of the Governor enumerated above have all collectively brought dishonor and disrepute in the office of the Governor in violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and the Leadership and Integrity Act of 2012. Evidence of Governor's engagement, connivance and complicity in the preceding acts of incitement, vilification of people and staff is to be found in Roman number 1, affidavit of Joseph Kiblangat Kogo sworn on 23rd September 2023 in support of notice case CA exhibit number 17, and 2, judgment of ELC in ELC petition number 001 of 2022, Josiah Kiblangat Kogo versus County Government of Kericho, KCA exhibit number 18, as well as video clips. Thank you, honorable members, for your patience. Honorable members, before we begin to debate, honorable members, before we begin to the debate on the motion that is now before this House, it is a fundamental principle in law that an accused person has the right to be heard and to face the accuser on the allegations before them. Indeed, this is the essence of Article 47 and 50 of our Constitution. To this end, I will now invite His Excellency the Governor of Kericho County, whether by himself or by council, to take the floor and make his submissions to the grounds and particulars of the motion before this Honorable Assembly for a period not exceeding 2 hours. We have 2 hours, but this is how we are going to use our 2 hours, Your Excellency and your team. 1.5 hours and now, and then I will open the floor for honorable members to contribute, and then I will give you 30 minutes to probably to respond to the issues that have been raised by the honorable members of this assembly. So, Honorable Governor, please note that, so that as we can see, I don't know what is our time now. What is the time now? So it's 2. It's 1:50. So we have 1.5 hours for your submissions. Should you use 1.5 hours, that is okay. Should you use less minutes, that will be better for some of us, because I'm even told the governor and myself had requested that we take a cup of tea because we have really sat here from morning. But nevertheless, we will give you 1.5 hours and then 30 minutes at the end to make it 2 hours as per our standing orders. So you will take to the floor and make his submissions to the grounds and particulars of the motion before this Honorable Assembly for a period not exceeding 2 hours. The 2 hours shall be split into 2. First shall be 1.5 hours after I've proposed, and the last 30 minutes before the move of the motion is called upon to reply. Honorable members, please note that His Excellency the Governor submitted his response yesterday, the 14th August 2025 at 8:50 a.m. The said response was delivered by David Kirui, the Acting Principal Administration Officer. Upon perusal of the response, the Office of the Clerk noted some pages were unclear, missing, and communicated the same to the said officer. The missing and clear pages 29, 30, 31, 32, 52, 56, 57, 71, 72, 80, 81, 83, 128, 143, 166, 167, 168, 172, 173, 206, 211, 212, 213, 216, 235, 236, 260, 265, and 311. Only page 29 and 30 was submitted through the office email address. The Office of the Clerk has made several requests to have clear copies of the pages to no avail. I don't know what is the current position. Clerk, are the pages, do you have all these pages now? Not yet. His Excellency the Governor, you have there is a challenge there for the missing and unclear pages, and I think your team had been notified. I want to note that Katwa, maybe you will speak about it when you will be presenting. And now, honorable members, this is the high time we will allow the Governor to make his submissions for a period not exceeding 1.5 hours. This time includes time allocated to his councils on record. If more than one council on record, the councils will share this time. I hope that is in order. So we need to administer the oath, starting with His Excellency the Governor. And then I don't know the lead council, whether every council will be speaking. So Governor first. Governor first.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, His Excellency,
Just
Governor.
order, just a bit. Order. So it's okay. You can proceed with your submissions, and you will probably introduce your team so that for the purpose of the record. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Joash Mutahi, an advocate of the High Court. Mine is just to introduce our team. We have His Excellency the Governor, Kericho County. We have Senior Counsel Katwa Kigen. We have Advocate Evanson Kiri and Advocate Joy Kawagen. With that, I would wish to welcome Senior Counsel Katwa.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Honorable MCs.
Good afternoon, Katwa Kigen.
My apologies.
Sorry, I don't have a copy here with me. I guess it's because of the challenges that we had. So can I get a copy? Because I'll be following it keenly. Copy of your responses. There was submission that you had submitted that you had received.
Could I proceed meantime?
If you can be kind enough, I have a copy if you have more than two, so that as we wait for the others, copies to be provided. The one actually, yes, the one with your written submission from the governor. Yes, why can I have just a copy? And then I'll use it and then I'll give it back. Yeah, sure. All right, sorry, thank you. We can proceed, Kato.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I trust you will give me a discount of the minutes you spent doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have three preliminary issues I wanted to raise with you and seek your direction, subsequent to which we will go into the body of our case. Mr. Speaker, sir, the governor was served with an order emanating from Kericho High Court case number 10 of 2025, which order was targeting these proceedings in the words that the moving of the motion, the seconding of the motion, the consideration of the motion should be stayed. The governor was not the mover of that suit. He is an interested party and the order has just been served on him. We would like to know what your directions are, whether notwithstanding the issuance of those orders, we are to proceed. We are prepared to proceed, Mr. Speaker, sir, if we must. We just want to have raised the point that the orders exist and that you give us directions if you would like us to proceed. That notwithstanding, and the aspect or the point that we are proceeding under protest in the face of the orders be unanswered. That's the first direction I very kindly request for your directions on. The second one, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the contents. The motion as moved by my friend Mr. Rogoin at page 6 of the motion says this, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Assembly resolves to impeach the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and Standing Order number 70 and 70A. I place a premium on the use of the provisions of Standing Order number 70A. Mr. Speaker, sir, that Standing Order number 70A is to the effect that subsection 1, a motion by a member of the a motion by any member for the removal of a county governor by impeachment may be reintroduced in the County Assembly on the expiry of 90 days from the date of afford by the Senate. Subsection 2. Despite paragraph 1, a motion for removal of the county governor by impeachment may be reintroduced in the County Assembly on other grounds other than the initial grounds that were highlighted in the previous impeachment proceedings. And my emphasis is in the subsection 2, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I was making reference to Standing Order 70A, subsection 2, which says that none of the things, and I just want to put emphasis on the words used by your standing orders, that were highlighted. It's not a question of whether they were determined, whether they were considered. It's just grounds that were highlighted in the previous impeachment. Mr. Speaker, sir, half or slightly more than half of the issues moved by Honorable Rogoin, in terms of both the subject matter and the annexures in support, were issues that were dealt with by this Assembly in the impeachment proceedings of September 2024. They are namely Mutahi initiative, exactly the same contentions, exactly the same annexures. The other one is the issue of Londiani accident, the same issues, the same annexures. The other issue is the issue of the staff, the alleged unlawful dismissals, transfers, and related issues. And the same affidavit is being used in these proceedings in support of that. And lastly is the issue of the alleged subversion of the County Assembly. Those 5 issues, Mr. Speaker, sir, were directly in issue in the previous impeachment proceedings, were directly grounds that were highlighted in previous impeachment proceedings. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like your directions on whether you are calling on us, notwithstanding the provisions of that standing order, to have to respond to that, or we should assume that being faithful to the standing orders, you do not require of us to have to respond to that. The last issue I seek your directions on, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that your standing order number 96 requires that you should not engage in discussions of matters that are sub judice, being that they are matters that are in court. Particularly standing order number 96(1) and 96(2), which are to the effect that, subject to paragraph 5, no member shall refer to any particular matter which is sub judice or which by the operation of any written law is secret. So we are not talking about it being secret, we are limited to the issue of being sub judice. Then subparagraph 2, a matter shall be considered to be sub judice when it refers to an active criminal or civil proceedings in court. Mr. Speaker, sir, when Mr. Ogonyo was moving the motion, at a certain point he very explicitly said, yeah, these cases are in court. And I have particular reference to the contents of the motion, page 16, page 19, page 20, page 21, and page 22, which not only includes the cases but also refers to court documents. And so, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to know whether, notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Order number 96, you are requiring us to discuss the issues that are in court. With that, Mr. Speaker, sir, just so that it's clear, I will request the Honorable Governor say something, then I will go into our defense.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much, Katwa. The Honorable Governor, you say something before I...
Mr. Speaker, sir, we were requesting for your directions before Mr. Governor. Yes.
Okay, order.
Kindly.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Katwa. The leader of majority, yes, point of order. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising on the same standing order number 96, Mr. Speaker. Since the senior counsel decided to refer to the previous matter or to the previous impeachment that was conducted in this House, Mr. Speaker, and subsequently it landed in the Senate, Mr. Speaker. Number one, Mr. Speaker, I remember the senior counsel, Honorable Katwa Keegan, that time, Mr. Speaker, filed a preliminary objection, and through the ruling of the Speaker, Honorable Kingi, Speaker of the Senate of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, on the issues of court injunctions, Mr. Speaker, I'm aware that indeed we were sent back to this House, Mr. Speaker, or the motion was unable to be discussed in the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker, because of one, the preliminary objections that Mr. Katwa Gigan, the senior counsel, had filed with the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And during the ruling of the Senate Speaker, number one, Mr. Speaker, he ruled, and based on the Supreme Court rulings, Mr. Speaker, that a process of a county assembly, of a national assembly, and that of Senate, Mr. Speaker, are not being injected. And by that, Mr. Speaker, I didn't see Senior Counsel Keegan challenging the findings and the ruling of the Supreme Court at that time. And so, before we even, I'm not trying to guide you, Mr. Speaker, on the same, but since he decided to refer to the previous matters that were in the Senate, is the one that did file the PO at that time, Mr. Speaker, and the ruling was done, and it was referred to the previous ruling of a Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker. So it was just informing the House. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Leader of Majority. Okay. So, thank you so much, Katwa, Lead Counsel Katwa Keegan, on the issues that you have raised. Number one is on the matter of, you have mentioned of court order, which we are not in receipt of that court order, and therefore I am limited even to respond to it. And maybe just to guide you a bit is that we have our County Assembly Service Powers and Privileges Act, that is CAP 265C, on service of civil process, and to that effect none has been served before us. Maybe you can just refer to that. I don't need to read to it. So on that matter, we shall just proceed, because we can't admit, for instance, maybe you have it here, we can't admit any strange documents at the moment in this House, because already the motion, we are already discussing and debating the motion. I don't even want to talk about what the Leader of Majority has spoken about on the matter of the ruling made in the Senate on the issue of injuncting parliamentary process. I don't want to speak about that, because I think as a lead counsel, and of course you know, as a senior counsel in this republic, you know the ruling, the Supreme Court's ruling on that matter, because we are in the midst of a process that is ongoing. Secondly is on the issue of the motion mover, standing order number 70A. Of course, carefully, as you can see, under number 8, the motion mover relied heavily on Article 181, Section 33, as well as the standing order number 70 and 70A. So there are two. Katwa, you've chosen only to rely on 70A by opposing it, but you have not considered 70. Nevertheless, we also appreciate the fact that you were with us last time until the Senate And as you know clearly, is that what the leader of majority has raised is true. The Senate didn't even get a chance to prosecute the matters that have been raised in that impeachment. They took a vote because you raised a preliminary objection on matters and numbers, which actually the case was not even, the file was not even open for discussion. Nevertheless, the standing orders also, as you can see, uses the word may. You may underline that, may, not shall. I think those are the things that small things that we need to look at. And then on the matter of sub judice now, because already we have addressed the issue of court order, then I think that one I will not now, that is overtaken by the event now, because we have not received any court order. So we would have even loved to address it in a different manner, but as at now we cannot talk of something that has not been received officially, or not officially. I've not even been received. I've not even heard about it personally. In fact, I've just heard about it now when you just took to the floor, Katwa. Let it be on record. So I think I'll just direct you to proceed to the main, your main submissions, so that we can proceed and also save time before we give it to the governor. So do you still want me to give to the governor, or I give it to you? You proceed to the main submissions. Okay. Thank you, His Excellency the Governor. Probably you can step forward here, Your Excellency. Maybe you can, yes.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members of the Assembly.
Sorry, Your Excellency, order. We'll already be informed that you need to take an oath. So please, sorry for that.
Well, yes, Speaker. I was waiting for that.
Sorry. Okay. Clerk, can you administer the oath?
I, His Excellency Dr. Erick Mutahi, do swear that the evidence I shall keep before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Now you can proceed with your submission.
Thank you so much. My submission, Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for this great time and this afternoon. And with a lot of humility, unlike the previous impeachment, Mr. Speaker, I was not there in person. But because this is a second impeachment happening in a row in Kericho County, the previous governor was impeached once. This one of Kericho County has been impeached the first time. This is the second time, and I thought I would like to come and listen also to debates, contribute, and also provide the facts that pertain to this county. Because the matters beforehand, Mr. Speaker, are grave issues that are of importance to the great people of Kericho County that they elected us to be able to serve them. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I'm very happy that my persistent accuser, Mr. Ragoin, today did not prod anybody in Buibui. And it's an improvement from the previous impeachment, Mr. Speaker. I was looking around, and when he was presenting videos, I thought I would see suddenly a Buibui, and we were not prepared for that, Mr. Speaker. But I'm happy that today he has improved a bit from the previous one, which is very good for all of us, because we're now discussing real substantive issues. Number three, Mr. Speaker, is to really appreciate your kind gesture since we came to this house. You've received us very well. The debates has proceeded very well. And I think this is a strength of maturity in the democracy of a nation, where we can agree, we can disagree to agree, and at the end of the day, we are able to debate on facts and even provide proper directions for the county governments that the Lord has placed us under jurisdiction. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, I would just like to make some few observations that as it is and the matters before us at hand, the matters that has been raised substantially here, I received the reports of this House after the impeachment has been tabled. A discussion was made in this House on the ad hoc committee on fictitious payment. Mr. Speaker, sir, it's just the following day after the discussion that I was in, and the impeachment motion was tabled in this House notice at around 2 p.m. Mr. Speaker, on the committee report on NAFCDB and the report on flock reports, these were debated long after the impeachment notice has been given, Mr. Speaker, and the reports were then submitted to me way after the notice of impeachment has been done, Mr. Speaker. In all human possibility, I had not even had a chance to go through the reports, Mr. Speaker, but when as I was waiting for the reports to work on it, already an impeachment motion has been tabled in this great House. I say this, Mr. Speaker, not because we don't want to adduce to the fact, but just to let the people of Kericho understand that when we will get to a point of saying that the governor had not acted in the report, it is good to know that these reports came way even after the impeachment notice has been done, and it is what substantially is forming part of the grounds of the impeachment that has been made, Mr. Speaker. It is only fair in natural justice to be able to provide, like these reports would have come to me in good time, read the report, interpret it, and then come out to the public to indicate or write to this honorable assembly on the steps that the governor intends to do based on the reports. I've looked in the reports. It has given me days of around 28 days to be able to implement, Mr. Speaker, but the impeachment came even before the half day began, Mr. Speaker. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, I am committed to this great assembly and the great members here and the people of Kericho to go, or having gone through the report, to do the following. Number 1, to be able to act on the same report in totality within the stipulated framework that was given by this House. That is and still remains my commitment towards the given report. Mr. Speaker, to demonstrate our commitment in settling these matters, funds embezzlement is not a political question. It is criminal questions in nature. I have indicated times and above that corruption is what has taken Africa back and is what has destroyed nations. My commitment is demonstrated by the fact that EACC, DCI has taken say of the matter. As a county government, we have already submitted the documents to EACC and the DCI, who have been sent to come and prosecute this matter within also the relevant structures which portrays what this great assembly has done. Our commitment is to fully implement, cooperate with the agencies to ensure that the same is done and justice is served by the people, is served and given to the people of Kericho. Mr. Speaker, matters have been raised on the inconsistencies of the governor on this matter. One such matter is my speech at Cheburigei, whom it says I glorify the committee which I held at very high esteem, and also seems to be providing the same direction. It is then in my view that if we listen to the entire of that clip, I did indicate it, that those who are found culpable must face the law. And it is a commitment that I have. I don't have the instruments of investigation. Probably this House has, the EACC has, and the DCIA. But a governor does not have the instruments. And this relies on the report that has been given to me. Mr. Speaker, I also rose because my lead counsel will use the smallest time we have, and we promise, Speaker, we may not even take 1.5 minutes, Mr. Speaker, because I really need the tea. It's been 1 week of agony and pressure, and we will really take the tea, Mr. Speaker. And I know when you are debate, and my good friends will take the floor here, some of the things they will say here may force pressure to go up a bit, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to safely hide me in your office, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, questions have arose on the imbalanced distributions of works in this county. My chief accuser, who is also my good friend, Honorable Rogoin, didn't report to this House as a few weeks ago he was doing a road in his ward, Mr. Speaker. I thought he was going to tell these people that he has just done a road, and so many others. I was also anticipating my chief accuser to indicate to the seconder of the motion, my good friend and my age-mate, Vincent Korir, that at this home, Londiani, Chagorod Water Project, which is going approximately 80 million, funded by Flocker, is almost 90% completion or almost done, and we are planning even for His Excellency President to come and commission, because it's one of the best in this area. My good friend, Honorable Ragoni, my chief accuser, equally, says that my friend Norman, and he claims he's my relative, and I don't want to discuss the substance because we were not here to discuss relatives and cousins and brothers and sisters, but he did also mention that Sao's water project, which is in the ward of Honorable Kavlelardet Mheshimiwa Maji, Kapsa Sur Water Project, and bordering his own constituency, his own ward, is actually funded by the Flocker project, Mr. Speaker, and he didn't mention that he's my relative or Maji is my relative, Mheshimiwa Maji, Mr. Speaker, sir. But he was very quick to say that Norman is my relative and therefore water project is being done in his ward. But the same Kapsa water project which is being done in his own ward was not very kind enough to say that this water project is going to share, it's done. Those are the few things I want to raise. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member, and they say that Mheshimiwa Dominic of Kabianga is my friend. Mr. Speaker, my chief accuser, in the same breath, didn't realize that a place called Kibrenkwe, somewhere in Kedawa, Kimugul, Mr. Speaker, a key Flocker water project is being done in that area at a cost of 17 million, and it is in the ward of my good friend, which we just inspected the project today, Mheshimiwa Sigilai, Honorable Speaker. That is not your Mossad word. And I'm happy that the chief accuser didn't say that the member is my friend. So because he's my enemy, if using his own terms, it means that the project is again being done in his ward, and it's a very good thing, Mheshimiwa Speaker Sam. Mr. Speaker, the question that the governor is unbalanced in distribution of work is far-fetched. Today, we are building a facility at Soshat, upgrading Soshat Hospital to be level 4 hospital. And we are doing a project worth 158 million. I'm very happy again that my chief accuser didn't mention, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I will, because of the matter, I want us to allow His Excellency the Governor to make his submissions.
Thank you for.
And then at some point in time, when Katwa will be and his team, I will allow the point.
So the Honorable Rogoin, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Rogoin, the motion mover, and which Mheshimiwa Paul Chichiri is assisting.
Honorable members, perhaps you know the governor is the first time he's standing.
Thank you for your grace, Mr. Speaker.
So I think they want you to refer to Honorable Rogoin as the motion mover.
Thank you for your grace, Mr. Speaker. I refrain from that and apologize.
Okay.
And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Rogoin didn't indicate, the motion mover didn't indicate that in Honorable Shelley's place we are building a facility. But he did also indicate that he's my friend, but we are doing a facility there today, Mr. Speaker, sir. What I'm trying to build on, in fact, the Mheshimiwa Honorable Tiriot Beth of Ainamoi, the other day, the roof Flocker project, we were giving out daily course with him. And Ainamoi is not your Mossad word. And the motion mover correctly did indicate that we are doing something. So the accusation of the governor that he has not balanced the word, I want to believe in the history of devolution, this is the time that we are speaking live to many of the wards across this county. Mr. Speaker, because I don't want to dwell with much, because I know that and you'll forgive me because I don't know the practices of this house, and lucky for me, I've not been an MC or a member of parliament, just been in the executive. I would also just like to mention a few things, and this is for the clarity of the county. When we mention that the governor has sacked CECs and CEOs, we need to have facts. The governor has no powers to even sack a single CEO in the first place. The process of sacking a CEO is either through resigning or through disciplinary process in the Public Service Board. Those powers, and you have been in the executive yourself, Mr. Speaker, thank God, rest with the institutional bodies that are independent. In Kericho County, I would like to see a letter today being tabled that indicate the governor signing that I have sacked this CEO on this date and this date, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because the rest remains just wishful thinking. As the CECs, Mr. Speaker, the internal processes as the appointing authority lies within the executive, the appointing authority. We were at Naivasha, there were discussions with the joint cabinet, there were demonstrations of performance across the county, and in the process, the appointing authority in his wisdom and the powers bestowed by the great people of the county, because CECs are representatives of the governor at that level, was able to make some directions on the same. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. If the governor is going to be impeached for having sacked CECs or changed CEOs, this great house that we are today, Mr. Speaker, have also had 3 majority leaders in a short span of time. There was Honorable Vincent, who I sent to Egypt to tour the pyramids. He came back, his seat was Mutahi. Mr. Speaker, in the same breath, my good friend and my compatriots, my good friend Paul Chichi Tarimbo, holding briefly for him, before Kashagwa decided to make the current majority leader the leader of this house, Mr. Speaker, who is supposed to be impeached in this matter, because what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. Mr. Speaker, the great house we are today, and I'm proud to be here, have had different committees at different levels, at different transition, different chairs of committees in the places. The governor has never challenged or anybody, because the powers of the house cannot be challenged by anybody. It is rested on you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Constitution vests powers on you and the members. The latest of those casualties is my good friend, Honorable Kimarus, Mr. Speaker, who was a chair for Rose the other day, but now is home. But who is going to be impeached now on all these things? So what I'm trying to say is that,
for the purpose of record, because we are unanswered, I guess you must have been referring to Honorable Gilbert Ngetich.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, just like I said, Mr. Speaker, you be graceful to me because I'm in this house today. So what I'm just saying is that institutions have their strengths, institutions have their powers that cannot be challenged by anybody. In this same case, the institution of the county governor's office also, the people vested powers on him on matters he says, and the Public Service Board have also been given such other responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, I saw something interesting in this motion. One very interesting thing is the governor is accused to have employed his brother and the wife of his staff. Mr. Speaker, you have been in the executive. The governor have no absolute role in the employment and recruitment and promotions of the staff of the county. The power is vested on the Public Service Board, which is a constitutional independent body. If the governor is facing an impeachment because he's accused of maybe nepotism, Mr. Speaker, then I'll ask myself the same question. The wife of my good friend, Honorable Mutahi, is a staff in our county, Mr. Speaker, sir, who is supposed to be impeached, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, many members here, around, I don't want to mention names, 4 or 5, have their spouses working in the county government of Kericho. I have even confirmed them because they are noble citizens of this country who have gone to school And they deserve employment, Mr. Speaker, sir. And these things were happening when some of the members were seated in this same house as members of this house. Mr. Speaker, when I came as a governor, we confirmed them, and we are working with them because they deserve jobs in this country. But Mr. Speaker, on the matter of whether the governor has employed anybody, the question rests with the Public Service Board of Kericho County, which is an independent body. In the same way, Mr. Speaker, we can't challenge that so-and-so has a relative working here, just in the same way in this assembly, that is the County Service Board. And in the County Service Board, Kenyans and people of Kericho come and apply a job. In one way or the other, there can be a coincidence that they can be relative of so-and-so. That, Mr. Speaker, is something that I think the Constitution provides for the same. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I wish to say this. As a governor of this county, I regret that we are in this situation. That is devolution conference, a key event happening for this nation at Homa Bay. It was my sincere it would give us a chance to prepare. Mr. Speaker, we're having the last financial, or basically second last financial year. It has always been my desire that we resolve our issues, because impeachment is always the last resort when issues cannot be resolved. However, I wish to deny any wrongdoing. My senior counsel will come and demonstrate the hype stories of sodas, the hype stories of tissue papers, which was choreographed, planned to wipe public emotions. He will come and demonstrate that in a short while, Mr. Speaker, sir. And we will want to do this not for anything, for posterity. For posterity, because another impeachment motion will come to this house. We would want to treat a governor based on innuendos or malice, but we would want the same to apply, that the law stands on its here and this place. Because as it is, I haven't seen statements, Mr. Speaker, that the governor withdrew funds of NAFCDB. Mr. Speaker, you have been the CC Finance for those years in Kericho County. The governor has no role in withdrawal of funds. He doesn't have the accounting rights at all the times. And the statements that have been made by the motion mover is that he is going to provide the financial statements in future. In future. But an impeachment is being discussed today as we wait for documents from the bank to be provided in future. Mr. Speaker, we need to be balanced in our thoughts. That where issues are, we keep fair justice where it deserves. The matter of Londiani will equally be dealt with my senior counsel, and I know we'll exhaustively discuss those details. But I wish to say, finally, that the process is ongoing. I just want to also request this great assembly that whether the impeachment becomes successful or not, because God knows the fate of everybody. We are here today, we are not there tomorrow. We are seated today as Waishimiwa of Kericho County, elected by the people. We will not be there forever. People have been in this house, they have gone. And I quote Senior Counsel James Orengo, that when my time comes to go, I'll always go with my head high, knowing that I've done great for the people of Kericho County, even within a short time. And I've done it with my heart and passionately with my heart. And I'm not guilty. And I'm not afraid. I have summoned my soul for the last 1 week and asked myself what is happening. And I know that I am not a perfect person, I'm not an angel. I make mistakes just like any other person. But out of all this, Mr. Speaker, let's do some few things for Kericho County. The Public Service Board is not in place. The names are in this great assembly. These are institutions that need to operate and run. When we make recommendations that the CEO should face the Public Service Board, or recommendations that take the CEO to the Public Service Board, the work of the governor is just to write to the Public Service Board. In the absence of a functional Public Service Board, Mr. Speaker, the same will not be realized. Allow it to happen so that it forms another ground for an impeachment. And looking into the energy of motion mover, having moved this time, I don't know if I'll survive this. Maybe you have another energy for a third one. But it's my prayer that the Lord will lead us to green pastures Lastly, Mr. Speaker, as we do this, I still invite the honorable members of the Kericho County Assembly of Kericho. But all is not lost. We have a county that has been given by us by the people of Kericho. We have just a year or two to finish on what our people ask us to do. It's an assignment that cannot happen in the place of rancors and disagreements. I invite the Kericho County Assembly of Kericho that there comes a time again when we can look into ourselves, hold our hands, look ourselves into our face, forgive one another, and move forward to a prosperous county. I'm ready to work with every member of the County Assembly. Whether this motion will be defeated here, whether it will go to Senate and we will come back, whether it will be defeated in the Senate or it will move and we go to courts and come back, because the whole process, all these things, I still want to say I harbor no grudge to anybody, including the motion mover. I extend my hand that we are ready to work together, build this county together for the grace that the little time that God has given us. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to end by inviting Lawyer Katwakiki and also request you, Mr. Speaker, for that cup of tea you had proposed, because the energy levels are going down on me. Thank you so much. And lastly, before yes, Mr. Speaker, just lastly, I beseech of you, Mr. Speaker, with your grace, we are going to progress with this motion and finally vote. So many issues have been raised, that there is an e-system, e-procurement, and it's good to say this in public, that there is an e-system. The standing orders provide that we can vote electronically, we can vote through acclamation, we can vote through roll call. Mr. Speaker, all I beseech your good office, if there is one string lying between me and that, is fairness. Just fairness. But when it comes to voting, let it be transparent. If we will feel at your discussion and request you, Speaker, that we do a roll call voting and people will stand up and say that my name is so-and-so, honorable so-and-so, I want the governor to go home, I will smile, Mr. Speaker. If this one says this and this, I'll equally smile. And at the end of the day, if I may go, let me go with dignity and with fairness, because a democratic right of every individual. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and looking forward for the cup of tea under your grace. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, His Excellency the Governor, for your submissions and responses. Before you proceed, I think I want to, of course, from the submissions by the Governor, because of the time that we had, I hope, Katwa, I know you are keen. I have realized that the Governor has handled a number of the allegations that have been raised by the motion mover. He has addressed them. Probably, of course, if you have something to add on it, that is in order. But if you feel that the others that he has answered sufficiently, then that is also okay. So thank you for that, Governor, and you may proceed to have your cup of tea as your council continue with the submissions, and then you will also join us. And then before I open the floor for the members to contribute, I think that is in order. So proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Governor will sit in for just a few minutes, then we can go for the much sought for tea. I would like to start by saying that we will supply, it looks like this process might take the whole day. We will supply by 2 p.m. the pages that have been referred to. We will make sure that by 2 p.m. on Monday they have been supplied. We request for that accommodation, and we appreciate your indulgence on that.
That is okay.
Thank you very much. We take on board the point that you make that you are not aware of the orders. As I indicated, we were also interested parties. We were also sued. It's not so much that we filed the suit, and so whoever filed the suit will probably take up the issue. So I would like to leave that issue there. You invited my attention to the Powers and Privileges Act. I have looked at it. I am aware of its provisions. On the issue of whether or not we can proceed to discuss Probably just one more. Let me just retrace 1 minute. On the issue of the court orders, we just want to be on record on the Hansard that we are proceeding under protest in the face of the fact that we have no choice, and we cannot deny ourselves the opportunity and directions. We will proceed. Now, discussing the issue of the previous motion may be brought after 90 days. However, notwithstanding that, a motion for removal of a governor by impeachment may be reintroduced. So the mainness, the latitude, the discretion is in whether or not it will be brought. There is no discretion as to whether or not you can rely on the grounds. That one you are wrong, Mr. Speaker. So with the greatest respect.
I was referring to
subsection 2. Yes.
On the matter on May.
Yes. It says, motion for the removal of a governor by impeachment may be reintroduced, and that is the only place where the word "may" is used in that standing order. May be reintroduced in the county assembly on other grounds other than. So it is absolute, other than. It is exclusive. It doesn't allow for any room to bring back Londiani, bring back Mutahi, bring back the affidavit of Kogo and the other staff member. It doesn't allow for that, Mr. Speaker, sir. And the other important words that are used in that is that grounds that were highlighted in the previous impeachment. Now, I appreciate the point made by Honorable Okony, that this issue was not discussed on merit. And Mr. Speaker, sir, also in giving your directions, you seem to be going back to the same point, saying that the preliminary objection had the effect of having not allowed the issue to proceed. But as pointed out to me by my colleague, Mr. Evans, highlighting is what is done in this floor, in this house. The fact of moving the motion, the fact of discussing it in this house is the aspect of highlighting, so that the moment you have exhausted the point of highlighting, you cannot bring it back. It doesn't matter what happened in the Senate. It only matters that it has been a subject that was highlighted in moving the motion. It is a subject that was highlighted in discussions on the floor, and it was debated on, and it was voted on in this assembly. For those reasons, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to say that with the greatest respect, the assembly would be mistaken to allow and entertain issues relating to the previous impeachment.
Order, Katwa. I had already actually made a ruling that we proceed, yes. Despite that I only allowed you to protest a bit, but you wanted to proceed.
Yes, I just wanted to have said that, yes, so that yes. It is on record. And just in case you change your mind, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, there is an issue that my client has very particularly said I should mention before he goes for this extremely important cup of tea of his. It is the issue of the voting, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, my client comes from a very uncomfortable position that the information we have is that a voting system was installed last night, specifically targeted at the handling of this process. Both the timing, the hurry, makes us very uncomfortable. We also have information, Mr. Speaker, sir, that some votes belonging to some people supporting him, that is Amos Birir, Martin, Edna, and Dominic, have already been manipulated.
Yes,
we just want to be on record as protesting right from the one. Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Cut one. That okay, fine. I will still refer you back to our standing order number 98, the responsibility for statement of facts. Of course, you have mentioned that already on the matter of voting, which I don't even know how you will now, unless you are being guided, because we're still prosecuting the matter, debating. When that time comes, I will be giving a ruling on how voting is done. But of course, our standing orders are very clear. On the aspect of speculation, let us not speculate, because you see, when we say the Honorable Dominic have been already, there is a vote casted, as mentioned by Honorable Katwa, then I don't know now what will happen. Should that not be the case when voting will be done? Of course, and remember that this is a house of facts. And so that I know Katwa is not a member of, I don't know whether he has been a member of parliament before or a member of county assembly. Probably he will understand that whatever he mentions, he needs to substantiate. Even the issues of procuring the system and all those things, those are in-house issues that only perhaps the administration can be able to confirm, and I don't think it's in the right place. It's not the right forum to debate on how was this, how the system was procured, when was the system procured, who knows even whether there is the system. I don't know. Those are some of the things, Katwa, that makes me not to allow you to continue discussing on the matter of voting, because we'll get there, because we are guided by our standing order. What is the point of order, Honorable Matthew? The point of order. What is your point of order? Do we have other mics so that you don't keep on moving?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on the point of order number 98, responsibility for the statement of fact. Mr. Speaker, the moment His Excellency was given an opportunity, he pleaded to you, Mr. Speaker, and the whole House that he wants fairness. Is it possible also for the Honorable Kato Keegan to give us the facts that the members have voted already, Mr. Speaker? This is a matter that members of the public need to know, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you can just allow me, Mr. Speaker, to cross over so that I can face Kato Keegan, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that we are discussing. The resources belong to Kericho residents, Mr. Speaker. We are discussing the issue of 85 million that was paid before anything was done to those to the people of this county, Mr. Speaker. We want, and I request, Mr. Speaker, using standing order number 1, you give Kato Keegan to give us out the votes who were done and by whom, Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
okay. We are discussing here an issue that someone was paid 2.9 million, Mr. Speaker, so that to supply soil. Kato Keegan, I know you might be practicing in a different field where you need to be paid so that you can do the work. But in this country, in this world, where on earth that can contractor be lending money by the government so that he can do the work? So, Mr. Speaker, we want also Kato Keegan, I know that you have gone all the way to ICC, but this is a different setup that we want to know. Where is 85 million?
All right, order, honorable members. Honorable, there was a hand. Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving the people of Ainamoya an opportunity to be represented. Mr. Speaker, I was raised on the same point of order. You know, Mr. Speaker, what we are discussing here, Mr. Speaker, is a very serious allegations that was, labeled against our governor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the legal counsel tries, Mr. Speaker, to pick issues from the Facebook, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, in fact, I'm even worried, Mr. Speaker. Why is it that they are saying probably members of the county assembly that are supporting the impeachment because they have already, done the voting, Mr. Speaker, or are they? In my view, Mr. Speaker, I think they are just preparing our minds, Mr. Speaker. Maybe they have also, voted against the impeachment, Mr. Speaker. So he needs to substantiate, Mr. Speaker. And the same standing order, Mr. Speaker, 98.2. If the member cannot, because we treat Katwa as a member now because he, is giving us information, he needs to have those facts. If he doesn't, substantiate, Mr. Speaker, with facts, I think you need to make him withdraw and apologize, Mr. Speaker. In case it doesn't, Mr. Speaker, you rule him out of order, Mr. Speaker, and of course, you know what normally is done when someone refuses to, to apologize, Mr. Speaker, and throw him outside the county assembly, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Lecturer. Order. There is a point of order by Honorable Gilbert Ngatich first. There is a point of order by Gilbert Ngatich. Remember that you know these point of orders are eating the 1.5 hours that we had.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. Yes. I'm also given on the standing order number 98 on statement of facts that although we want to say, Mr. Speaker, sir, we live in a society where social media is much vibrant, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I also saw a voting which was done last night of 34 members voted. And then we wanted also to know how this 34 was obtained, Mr. Speaker, because even if it is the social media, Mr. Speaker, an honorable member seated in the House, Mr. Speaker, wrote it, Mr. Speaker, and we also felt threatened that some voting has been done, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
All right, honorable members, I want to give to, I'll only give to two. I'll give to the Honorable Paul Chipsil, and then I give to Honorable Erick, and then finally leader of majority, and then I give direction so that we proceed. I don't want us to measure on the matters that are not in the substantive motion. We'll proceed, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity while I rose on a point of order, Mr. Speaker. This is a special sitting to discuss very, very weighty matters to do with funds, resources for the county of Kericho. Our standing order, Mr. Speaker, sir, is very clear, expressly. The responsibility for statement of fact. Mr. Speaker, sir, if a member can rise, and especially a senior member like Katwa Gigi, can rise before this House, we have a mess that is representing authority in this House, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, how can a whole senior member make very serious allegations that maybe some voting has been done? Mr. Speaker, sir, two things. It's either he substantiates with facts, or if he's unable to substantiate with facts, he apologizes. Or if he does not do that, Mr. Speaker, sir, you rule him out of order. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, the whole country is following us. Mr. Speaker, sir, how can a whole member, a senior member, rise again and bring serious issues that voting has been done about some 34? Mr. Speaker, how do you admit into this House information? We are a house of rules and procedures. Anything that has not been processed to be admitted in this House is foreign, Mr. Speaker, sir. Then I take you back again to the statement of facts. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Gilbert Ngatich, if he is unable to substantiate, Mr. Speaker, his allegations of 34, Mr. Speaker, sir, you better rule him out of order, Mr. Speaker. Number 3, the Honorable Governor, a whole governor, Mr. Speaker, sir, can rise and make very serious allegations that the Honorable Rogon, the motion mover, is doing a road. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is answered. We are a house that does representation, legislation, and oversight. We do not implement, we do not execute anything, Mr. Speaker, sir. That is the height of displaying incompetency, Mr. Speaker, sir. And the Honorable Governor should also withdraw. I also take you back on the statement, the responsibility for statement of fact. If the Governor is unable to prove or substantiate that the Honorable is doing a road in this place, then the Governor should also substantiate. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Governor has made allegations, very serious allegations, that my spouse is an employee of the county. That I accept. Mr. Speaker, sir, my spouse was employed in 2010 by the national government under economic stimulus program. And she has been working, she has rose through the ranks. She's now a senior member, and she is a senior member in terms of cancer, Mr. Speaker, sir. She's a cancer specialist. So the governor, again, I quote, these are House of Rules and Procedures. We are guided by the standing order, the Constitution, national laws. If you are unable again to substantiate the Honorable Governor, you better withdraw and apologize so that it goes on record that you are saying the truth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. We are guided and we are ready to prosecute this very serious matter on the embezzlement of 85 million, the procurement irregularities, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this county has continued to perpetrate. Remember yesterday, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Auditor General put the Auditor General's report, put Kericho at number 2, that this county has been able, has carried out very serious procurement irregularities of 1.1 billion. Auditor General is an independent institution mandated to carry out audit and give audit reports regularly. So they've given out an audit report that county government of Kericho procurement irregularities of 1.9 billion. Mr. Speaker, sir, has been embezzled. So we will be prosecuting this very serious matter, and we are inviting the country, we are inviting this county to follow us. History will be written today. Today, history will be written. And we want to stand with the people of Kericho. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the statement, the responsibility for the statement of fact, standing order number 98, guides us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Erick Bet, and then Leader of Majority. Honorable Leader of Majority, and then I will give direction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think it's high time we guide the discussion and the debate of the House, Mr. Speaker. One, if we will sit here, Mr. Speaker, discussing what was in the social media, Mr. Speaker. Whatever we've seen in the social media are so many, Mr. Speaker, to a level. Some of my friends here, Mr. Speaker, are my friends to, maybe they are also my friends in Facebook, Mr. Speaker, aside being my friends and colleagues in the County Assembly of Kericho, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if we were to discuss the issue of voting, Mr. Speaker, yesterday and the other day, Mr. Speaker, we've seen section of honorable members, Mr. Speaker, of this County Assembly doing a voice voting, Mr. Speaker, in an hotel somewhere, Mr. Speaker, when there is no official sitting, there is no mess, there is no speaker, there is no motion. So, Mr. Speaker, if we will go in that direction, Mr. Speaker, of saying, I saw this in the social media, you saw this in the social media. Mr. Speaker, social media is widely used by so many people, Mr. Speaker, and therefore, it is good to know that this House is guided by, one, the Constitution, number two, the standing orders, and the County Government Acts, Mr. Speaker. That, if we can confine ourselves to those things, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me remind each and everybody here, Mr. Speaker, that if you are sick, when you attend the hospital, Mr. Speaker, you will not ask or you will not prescribe medicines for yourself, Mr. Speaker. You will wait for the doctor to see you, Mr. Speaker, then prescribe the medicine that you are supposed to take, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, when you are in the field, Mr. Speaker, I'm a football player. Number 9. Mr. Speaker, when you are in the field, Mr. Speaker, we have a referee, we have members or players of both teams, Mr. Speaker. And in this case, even looking and hearing the presentation here, Mr. Speaker, you will know that for a fact there are teams. Now, when you have a team A and team B, Mr. Speaker, the only person who will give guidance in the field, in the playing field, Mr. Speaker, is the referee, in which, in this case, Mr. Speaker, is one honorable Dr. Patrick Mutahi, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kericho, is sworn. When it came that time, I don't know why we are preempting the issues of voting. Maybe it will not even reach to that point. The last one, Mr. Speaker, on electronic voting. I don't know why, when the County Assembly, you see, the President, who is also the party leader of the United Democratic Party, Mr. Speaker, has pronounced himself on people or Kenyans moving from the analog, Mr. Speaker, going digital. I don't know what is the problem when the County Assembly of Kericho decides to go digital, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why, but I believe the systems, whether they are there or not, Mr. Speaker, are subject to audit, Mr. Speaker. If they find that maybe this thing is not going to favor anybody, Mr. Speaker, let us sit, wait, we will challenge at the right time, Mr. Speaker. The issues of voting, I know, after being maybe in this house for a very longer time now, Mr. Speaker, it will reach that time, and that time, I believe, the Speaker, according to the traditions of the House, will guide the House at that time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you, the Leader of Majority. I want us to have a way forward so that we don't waste time on non-issues. Really, because we are in the midst of a debate. The only thing that I request both parties, the representatives of His Excellency the Governor, as well as the honorable members, is that I think that standing order of responsibility of facts is very important. So let us just avoid making statements that will require you to substantiate. That means you'll be eating on the time that we have allotted to the Governor. So let me direct this way. Another thing is that there is no way we can anticipate, because the end process of this debate. However, the Governor had made his submission very clear that he wanted a fair process. So, of course, as you all know, in this House only we operate using standing orders. And anything that is outside these standing orders will be unfair. That is, we need to note that. And then secondly, of course, when it comes to that matter of which you are raising, it shall be addressed at that point in time. I want us to avoid the dangerous path that we are taking, and I kindly request the Katwa lead counsel, because you know you mentioned that you have information that the Honorable Dominic has been voted yes, or vote, I don't know, you said a vote already has been done. Of course, that is, unless you will prove it, that is, you are out of whatever, I'll be very kind not to initiate those procedures that the honorable members have suggested. Perhaps he was just raising this concern, and therefore we will give it to Katwa to continue. But first, if to substantiate or withdraw on the voting, because already we are not yet there. I want to believe that there are issues that you can raise after. So let us avoid these honorable members, these point of orders that really are not necessary at the moment, so that we can really prosecute the matter that are here, that has been raised by the motion mover. Let's follow the cue of the Governor, because His Excellency the Governor really responded to his issues point by point. That would save us time. Yes, lead counsel.
Mr. Speaker, sir, will you give me an opportunity to say something when we get to the
Yes, you say something about you substantiate the allegation that you made, and then of course, if you can't substantiate, you will have to withdraw, and then we close that matter on voting. We cannot discuss about voting. We are not yet there.
Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to apologize and withdraw what I said. I seem to be very popular at that point. I know the most vicious people who are against me are my good friends Taribo and Matthew. Having apologized and withdrawn, Mr. Speaker, sir, I know one of the speakers has said history will be made here. I think Mr. Tarimbo, Honorable Tarimbo, saying history will be made.
I think I know we will look all the honorable members. Probably Katwa may not know you all by your names. I will be guiding him. Honorable Tarimbo is not an official language. His name is Honorable Paul Chirchir.
Yes. So he said history will be made in this sitting today. I think that history might be in the sense of impeachment, and we want to say that history can only be made if the 18 votes of people who have said they are not supporting this impeachment is manipulated.
Yes.
Now, I would like to move on then to the
the honorable Paul Chirchir, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am rising again on a point of order. And like before the session began, you pronounced yourself that this sitting is official. Mr. Speaker, sir, the responsibility for statement of fact is very important. When I say history will be made today, where did I say history will be made by the governor being impeached? Impeachment is a process. That process, we are not even at the tail end of the process. So why would you imagine that I'm thinking that that is the position? How does he know that this is how I'll vote? I am waiting for that time to vote after Mr. Stuki this matter. So number two, Mr. Speaker, sir, when he talks about 18, who are these 18? Who are these 16? Who are these 13? Who are they? Any information that is not yet official in this house, Mr. Speaker, sir, is misleading.
It isn't.
So when you tell us 18 and no vote has been taken, the honorable senior counsel should be guided accordingly. Mr. Speaker, sir, responsibility for statement of fact, and members shall be responsible for the accuracy of any fact which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such fact. So let the senior counsel substantiate. Using the right procedure, there are ways of admitting information into this honorable house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, members, order. We will, if we continue that way, we will lose the direction. Already Katwa withdrawn the comment on the matter of voting by voting for some honorable members, and we have agreed that we are not yet there, and we cannot anticipate a process. So now, going forward, so that we move forward, there should be no discussion on the matter of voting until when the chair will give direction and that time ends. So that we proceed, so that we finish, we continue. So Katwa, you can now continue making your submissions. There's a submission by the governor. I hope it is not on the matter of voting anymore. Yes. Yes, let's give time to the governor.
It is not on the matter of voting, because, Mr. Speaker, I recognize I already made my submission that I would like submit to you and new chair is a fair process, and I did mean that. I actually know the weight of this matter, Mr. Speaker, and that is why we need to ventilate very objectively on the same, Mr. Speaker. And equally, where Mheshimiwa Tarimbo had asked me to try and apologize, I do try and apologize. And at the same time, there are some questions of semantics, Mr. Speaker. When we're saying we're doing a road, you know, the English language is arbitrary in scope and space. So when we say we're doing, there is the act of doing, there is the implications and the implied meaning, Mr. Speaker, according to Naomi Chomsky, 1856, Mr. Speaker. But nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, there's something I forgot in my submission, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, because I need to have the time, there is an accusation, Mr. Speaker, that had been made, and I thought I forgot to respond, and it's a very important
allegations that touches directly of the office of the governor. In the submissions of the honorable motion mover, an indication is made that I rubbished or something to do with the whistleblower. And I thought, because it directly touches on my office, Mr. Speaker, it's important to mention before we go for the cup of tea. And you know you are my age mate, it will be okay if we do that cup of tea together. Mr. Speaker, the office of the governor, as constituted, has the governor and the deputy governor conjoined by the hips. The deputy governor cannot be a whistleblower because he earns a salary to assist the governor in performing its functions. Part of the functions is not whistleblowing, because the deputy governor, is important for the people of Kericho to know this, the deputy governor has the responsibility of chairing sub-cabinet committees. These are very critical committees because you have been a CC, Mr. Speaker, which involves processing of materials and guiding the county on even matters discipline. And when I say this, Mr. Speaker, I have noted two concerns: that in the Montgomery report, the whistleblower was in the deputy governor. In this other report, I don't know if you are going for me. Thank you. In this other report, Mr. Speaker, in this other fictitious payment, the whistleblower is still the deputy governor. It is good for this House to make a determination in a fair way that the governor and the deputy governor are elected on the same pair of tickets. Salaries are drawn by the deputy governor. My view, Mr. Speaker, as you appreciate even whistleblowing, is that there must be a boundary between malice, political aspirations, and discharge of duties given by the Constitution. The whistleblower in this matter is an interested party because one is elected to serve the people of Kericho. In this service, it's about providing governance, directions, and administrative work to the CCs, the CEOs, and the staff of Kericho County government. So when we say that the governor found it irresponsible for his principal assistant to have uttered such remarks, it is a constitutional matter that must be looked beyond even this assembly. Because if today there's a president here, we have the deputy president. If the deputy president will come and say, I'm calling for a press conference to make the nation be aware that money has been stolen in State House, Mr. Speaker, he's paid money to support the president, advise the president, and guide the president. It's also the same principle within diverse structures. And that is why, even as we mention all these debates and concerns, I wish to mention that as we celebrate the whistleblower, this assembly must at some point, whether the governor will be there or not, and I trust God he will guide us on this, be able also to ask the whistleblower, where was he when the money was getting lost? In fact, if you have been here with me, because we are controlled by the hip, so we don't want to get we are here to say this. But however, Mr. Speaker, I'll give you a scenario. You equally have, you also have a deputy speaker in this house. The formation of the county assembly is that the speaker and the county speaker. It is going to be very across a portion of justice. If your deputy speaker will go to a press conference today outside this precinct and say that the service board of the assembly has stole this money, or this committee is not working. His business is to come, guide you, and alert you, and sit together as top administrators of the county assembly do so. So it is this out of this concern that I rose to also make this submission, that while we celebrate that there's a whistleblower of this one, then we must also be recognized of the fact that at the same time, the same whistleblower are to join with the governor to do service for the people of Kericho. Once again, Mr. Speaker, thank you for your grace, and I know that God will give us justice and help us to move forward as one people of Kericho County. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Governor. I think you have made your point very clear on the matter of whistleblower. Now, now you proceed in the manner that I directed, so that we say one time.
we started at 1400. I can see it's 1520.
Mr. Speaker, sir, let me address the allegations. I've forgotten the name, but I know him as Honorable Tarimbo has asked me to substantiate the 18. I can either do it now, to substantiate the point of history. I can either do it now or the end of my presentation on the issues. May I start on the issues, Mr. Speaker, sir, the less contentious ones. The first allegation that was made against His Excellency, I want to say that our overarching contention, our position generally on the whole of these allegations are three. The first one, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that it cannot be right, as Honorable Rogoin said, that the moment an accident occurs somewhere, or a death occurs in an hospital, or somebody steals 1 shilling, you rush to the governor to take responsibility for it. It is our view that it is only when the issue is brought to the attention of the governor and he fails to act that his responsibility is triggered. It is not in place or in lieu of the responsibility of the individuals. And that is why this assembly is given powers to call in the CCs and to recommend their removal, and your recommendations can result in their actually having to retire from office. And that is why also there is criminal responsibility for anybody who is culpable for any wrongdoing. There is civil liability for any wrongdoing. There are proceedings also for asset recovery. All those point to the point that the first point of stop is to identify the person who is liable for the wrongdoing and to take him to task on the allegation. It is not correct to say, as Honorable Rogon said, that you start by knocking out the governor and then you de-escalate the issue to the person responsible. Now, the other issue we want to say is that the entirety of the allegations, all the allegations that have been brought here, about 12 of them, in none of them is it said that the governor either was participating in the tender evaluation or tender award, or that he signed the checks for the payments to any of those contractors or any of those individuals, or that he procured any of the services or any of the goods or any of the works, or that he went to the bank to withdraw money. None of the allegations point to him in person. And so we just want to put emphasis on the fact that much as this motion has been coached in a way to suggest that the governor is personally liable, the truth of it is that the totality of the documents do not point to him in person. And with that then said, I just want to run through the allegations that have been made, and I was dealing with the one, so our defense is mainly based on the material that were given to us by the staff, or rather, the material that were given to the governor by the staff, attendant to the issues raised in the motion and in the reports. The governor, as he said, would have really cherished an opportunity to be able to act on those reports, Mr. Speaker, sir. And given an opportunity, he commits to act. And whether that act will entail suspension of anybody, dismissal of anybody, referring somebody to the Public Service Board for disciplinary measures, reporting anybody to the DCI or to EACC, the Honorable Governor is committed to taking action in case any impropriety is found. And for purposes of that, he is committed to starting the report from this assembly and doing his own investigations, attendant to which he will take action. He wants the assembly to be aware that he is committed to doing that. Now, on the issue of the maintenance of 15 houses, the cost of 2.9 million, the response of the governor, as per the records given to him by the staff, is that indeed some work has been done, it's not yet completed, and some works are ongoing. The accuracy of this is an issue that with time he should be able to determine and address. He also wishes to emphasize that in respect to that issue of the housing, he supplied the document showing what had been supplied, both what had been done on the ground and the materials that were that had been delivered to the location and the ongoing works. And documents were supplied. I would like to move on to the next allegation, being the alleged goods that were not delivered, and that is soya beans, maize, jam, sunflower, cottonseed, at the cost of 14 million. And the documents we have and which we are told the assembly was applied with is because the whole case rests on the dichotomy of whether payment was made before delivery or delivery was made ahead of payment. And the position of the county staff, the executive, is that indeed delivery was preceded payment. The payment was made after the delivery of these items, that is the soya, the maize, the sunflower, the cotton, and so on and so forth. Now, it is said when the motion was being moved that a certain tonnage, I remember something like 10,000 tons were found on the ground instead of 30,000 tons. The explanation we have is that these are consumable. It's not like they rest there through. They come and the farmers pick them, the cooperatives pick them, and so the mere fact that you do not find them on the ground is not necessarily proof or an indicator that the deliveries were not done. I would like them to move on to the next issue of the overpricing. And we've seen so much on social media about tissue papers that cost 2,700 and hand towels that cost 3,600. The materials that we have that were supplied by the staff and which we are told the assembly were given were that indeed the tissues, the price of 2,750 was for 40 bales containing 40 pieces of tissue paper each. So the 2,700 is 40 bales times 40 pieces. So the 2,700 is not the cost of 1 unit. It is the cost. It is 40 times 40 divided by 2,700. On the issue of hand towels, the information and the documents we have in terms of the procurement of those items is that it was 3,600 related to 5 dozens of the hand towels. So it's not true to say 3,600 was for 1 unit of hand towels. It is related to 5 dozens. And the documentations on all these issues were supplied, and we've supplied the same to this assembly. And as Mr. Speaker, you already observed at the outset, you indicated that indeed we supplied our statement. The first statement, there are 2 statements, both dated 13th of August. And then the explanation is at volume 2, page 1 to 26, and all the supporting documents, including the documentation relating to these tissue papers, hand towels, are at page 228 to 326. On the issue of works, goods, and services that were allegedly not properly procured, our response is that they were properly procured, and the documents showing the floating of the tenders, the evaluation of the bids, the award of the tenders, and the payments were supplied. All the documents are in the bundle we have supplied, page 28 to 325 of our documents. Now, it is also alleged around the same issue that some contracts were split so that they would escape the criteria of a substantive bidding. The committee was given the procurement plans for each of these items. And if you compare the procurement against the procurement plan, it will be noted that none of the procurements was split. Each of them was done as a block, as had been anticipated and planned for in the procurement plan. On the issue of retention, we also, of course, want to observe that on that issue of alleged split tenders and impropriety in the procurement process, we did our utmost best because we didn't have details of those allegations. They were general allegations. There was no specific case where we were pointed to a specific bid or a specific tender. On the issue of retention, it is said that some payments were made after 5 years of works. And we want to say that the law on retention runs for 6 years. The contracts provide for retention for up to 6 years. So any claim made within the period of 6 years is a valid claim on the retention amount, and it is only paid upon satisfaction that any defects that arose have been done. In none of the, other than making the general accusation that payments were made 5 years down the line relating to retention, which we are saying was right, other than making that general statement, it is not specified anywhere in the allegations that indeed there is a specific case where there was a defect and payment was made for retention before the defect had been rectified. And it is the position of the executive that indeed there is no case where there was a defect that had not been rectified by the time of payment. However, as we said, we will be conducting investigations on this. We will apply, the governor will conduct investigations, establish indeed if there are any cases where there was any impropriety in the payment of retention. And at this point, Mr. Speaker, sir, with the greatest respect, you will realize that these are the payments you made 5 years ago, and so we might call you to come and assist us to clarify some of those, if it is actually a substantive issue. On the documentation, it is alleged that they are lacking documents, and some lack IFMIS invoices and stamping. We very categorically say that there is nowhere where documents are missing. I know Honorable Ogony said that one of the challenges they had in the course of the committee hearings is that there were instances when the staff were asked to supply documents and they either took too long or they brought the documents in piecemeal. Our position, from the position of the executive, the office of the governor, is that all the documents are there. They have been supplied in the documents we have supplied in this assembly. But we would like to make additional explanation on the issue of IFMIS to this effect. All payments that were made using the IFMIS system. And so the contention made in one of the allegations that indeed some taxes were avoided cannot be true, because the IFMIS system itself not only secures the guarantee that the payments are made, but it is also interconnected with KRA, and so nobody who has been paid can escape having to pay taxes. And so that allegation that indeed there were instances when parties or contractors escaped having to pay taxes or that they were paid outside IFMIS, we deny completely, as we deny the allegation that there are any documentation lacking. And we put anybody saying that the documents are lacking or that taxes were not paid or that payment was made outside IFMIS to strictly prove in the allegation. That allegation is not specified. There is no specified allegation saying contractor X was paid outside IFMIS or that he escaped paying taxes or that there was an impropriety in terms of that process. And so I would like to rest that contention there. Around the same issue, Mheshimiwa Ogony in the course of presentation says that there are cases where other people's signatures were used. There is no specific point at which it is said person X signature was used by person Y. And if we were supplied with that, we would be able to answer to that. I can see Mr. Ogony seems to have an answer to that. Probably we'll take it when debating. On the issue of the employment of a brother and a wife of a staff member, His Excellency the Governor had explained, but we would like also to say as part of our defense that the wife of the staff member and the brother of the governor, if it were to turn out that they were employed by Public Service Commission. I know that has already been said, but we want to say very emphatically also that that contention can only be legitimate if it was being said that those people were not qualified to hold those offices. If they are qualified, they are no less entitled to have sought to be employed, and there is no wrongdoing in engaging them. And so we would like to have said that on that issue. On the issue of market survey, it is our contention that everything has been bought within the general market price. And I've already explained the issue of the tissue papers, the issue of the hand towels, the issue of the sodas. With that in place, with that explanation in place, it will, I know Honorable Rogon used it as an illustration to show how the blindness to market survey led to acquiring items way out of price. And we are saying that indeed, if you take into account the proper facts, you will realize that they were not way too far off the market, of the market price. We are unaware of the allegations of the governor having been given irregular advances or having walked into banks to collect money. And the details of that allegation has not been substantiated. Now, I'd like to discuss the two items raised. That is the issue of NAV CDP and FLOCA together. Now, the two projects, of course, as we all know, are World Bank projects. My instructions are that FLOCA is not only is funded by two donors, that is German government and World Bank. These projects do not allow for the alleged misappropriation. And the allegation that there were any misappropriations in these projects are completely false from where we sit. We also come from the position that it is very unfortunate to flag out a project as this as part of the impeachment, and it can only be intended to drive out the donors who are supporting these projects when there is no justification. All these projects are managed by donors, and they are governed by donor controlled regulations. They provide the regulations, and they also provide very rigorous audits. Part of the audits is to the effect that when a program target has been achieved, it is audited before the next phase is engaged in. The consequence, therefore, is that if the previous level has not been properly accounted for or has not been properly done, the next phase cannot be done. And so that those checks and balances by the donors are foolproof against any manipulation and abuse. We want to emphasize also that other than the complaints raised for purposes of this impeachment, none of the donors has raised any complaint on these projects. And equally very important is to say the auditors who audit these donor projects are not the county staff. It is donor auditors. And so if there was any impropriety, those auditors would have picked that up. And I want to additionally say all those projects are activity-based. They have project fund utilization guidelines. They have annual work plans, and they have budgets assigned to each phase. And so it's not possible. It's not true that there was any money taken away, lost. It is not possible to have taken away any money from those projects without the donors themselves raising complaints. And so our position is that that is a complete red herring, and it is very unfortunate that it is being brought for the purposes of impeachment when it has the collateral effect of driving away these donors from supporting and assisting the residents of Kericho. On the issue of SACCOs, we want to say it is alleged that 19 out of 30 SACCOs were found to have become eligible for various supports as at the time the committee went on the ground, and that it is also said in the allegations that 7 of them are the only ones who have received support. It is also alleged that some of them cannot account for receipt of items supplied to them, or that some of the supplies were substandard. I would like to answer all those questions on behalf of the governor to this effect. The first one is to say, yes, it is true that 19 out of 30 had qualified. And the reason and explanation is that each of those SACCOs needed to meet some criteria set by both the donor, the national government, and the county government for them to qualify to be incorporated in that project. And so it is only those ones who had qualified that were incorporated. And so the reason why it is 19 rather than 30 is not because anybody was discriminated, it is because of the rigorous criteria processes that are required for them to qualify. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the presentation we've brought here, we've shown that as a result of the efforts of the county executive, the donors, and the national government, the remainder 11 SACCOs have now qualified as we speak now.
I'll give you extra 10 minutes because we started at 2. It's 3:40 now. I was kind enough because there was some point of orders here and there. So
how many minutes did you say, Mr. Speaker?
10 minutes.
Could I beg for 15, Mr. Speaker?
All right.
15 only.
I'll give you 15.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for that grace. And so our explanation is that the 19 were the ones who had qualified, and as we speak today, all the wards are represented. The other 11 have, as a result of efforts and enterprise of the executive of the county, the executive of the county, the national government, and the donors have qualified, are in the process of being onboarded. Now, the issues of procurement, these are donor-funded projects. The standards set by the donors is such that they can only procure some of those, including those laptops being said that they have been refurbished and so on. That is completely false. The standards are set by the donors, including the furniture. And so there is no case where it is possible, and we wish somebody could come with any of those alleged refurbished laptops or any of those broken seats. And of course, if the seats have been used for a while, they will break. But the point I just want to emphasize is that the standard set by the doctor is not possible to have a case where the standard of the items delivered. As a rider to that also, my instructions are that it is upon the SACCO itself to requisition for what they want. If they want a table, if they want a chair, if they want a walking stick, it is them to say, we are requesting that you supply us with this. If they want an office, it is them to requisition for that. And so it is only supplied to the extent to which they have requested. So it's not like you wake up one morning and you say you want to distribute pens like it was done this morning in this. It's a requisition for it, it is applied, and they acknowledge it. And the position we have is that each of them has records of the receipt of what was applied to them. Mr. Speaker, sir, in view of the time you've given me, I would like to raise the arguments on those two projects. That's FLOCA and NAFCDB at that point. The issue of the projects which are said to be skewed in favor of the areas where His Excellency the Governor comes from, and probably where my good friend Honorable Anita comes from, it would seem like even before Honorable Okon could let the bird fly, people have already shown that it is not true. It is not true that they are skewed, it is true that they have been spread out. But more to the point and more seriously is that my instructions is that this is a 3-year project. 2024-2025 financial year, 25-26 financial year, and 26-27 financial year. And by close of the year 2027, every ward will have been supplied with this, will have enjoyed the benefits of these projects. And so the contention that Chemosot is being preferred is not true. It is also not true that 21 million was spent. It is actually, the truth is that it is only 16 million that has been spent. The work plans for these projects is such that if it is closely looked at, some of the projects will attract more expenditure than this Chemosot that is being picked on. Some will incur more expenditure than that Chemosot. And there is also reference to some other projects, Toroitany, I think, and and Chemamun. And my instructions that the executive wishes that there was audience for the people from those areas. They would come and say they are very happy. The project was completed, it was handed over to them, and they are very happy with its performance. And so to say that there is any deficiency in those projects is inaccurate. And there is no skewedness, there is no discrimination. I know His Excellency was asked to withdraw the contention about the road. The argument on the road was not meant to say that Mheshimiwa Rogoni was doing the road. The point that was being made is that there is no skewedness. Projects are being run throughout the county. There is no selection of saying it is being taken to where His Excellency's former friend Matthew comes from, and another one is being denied. On the issue of strategic intervention projects, Mr. Speaker, so I just have 3 issues to cover. Strategic intervention projects. It is said, and I know Honorable Rokon very specifically mentioned this, that indeed no works have been done. On this one, we are ready for any consequence. It is the instructions we have are that the position we gave the committee is the exact position on the ground, being that the kitchen staff is at the walling level and MCH is at slab level. Sorry? Yeah,
no, let's allow Katwa to...
Yes, but I'm glad that what Matthew is saying, it's very true what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker. Now, we would like to make the general denial that it is not true that there are weak controls at the executive, that there are inadequate policies in place, that the accounting systems are wanting, that there is either fraud or intended fraud on the part of the governor and his office, or that he has made any withdrawals, or that he has committed any coercions or irregular awards, or that he has interfered with any tender awards, or that he is making skewed tenders, or that the projects that are being run under his watch are improperly implemented, or that there is unfair distribution or theft. We deny all those allegations. We know that those allegations are not supported. Mr. Speaker, sir, my instructions are to just say that in terms of the governor's commitment to take action on these projects, on the report of the Assembly and the results of any investigations he is going to conduct, is that upon it being found that people who are liable to answer to the Public Service Board being found to be culpable, it would require that they be sent to Public Service Board. And therefore, my instructions are also to request that the Assembly kindly considers approving the pending issues of the Public Service Board. In terms of taking action, because I know there was multiple reference to action not having been taken on Londiani, on Mutahi, and so on and so forth, we would like to indicate that between now and the time that the Assembly made their report, EACC were given documents relating to some of these projects. So it's not correct to say nothing has been done. It is a fact. I hope, Mr. Speaker, that you will not ask me to substantiate. Anyway, I can substantiate, but that's a fact. It is a fact that indeed EACC have already been to the county and has already handed over some of the documents for EACC to look at. And so if you have more information, you are welcome to help the governor to address these issues. And His Excellency requires about 28 days to complete that. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would think that is all I wanted to say in response to all those issues, and I would like to rest my submissions there. I thank you very much for the audience you've given me. Mr. Speaker, sir, you had asked me to substantiate what I said about the history, and that that history cannot happen because there are 18 members. If the 18 members can just stand so that we Mr. Speaker, sir.
You cannot give direction. In fact, even the honorable members themselves, you know, you are out of order. I cannot even expect you to take directives from Honorable Katwa. You are out of order. You are out of order. Katwa, you are out of order.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to thank you for the courtesy you've shown us, the time you've extended for me. I really appreciate it. I thank all the honorable members. Multiple arguments were made about me being part of this assembly.
All the honorable members.
I accept your adoption of me as member of this assembly. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much for the courtesy, for the audience, and Mr. Speaker, sir, and those MCs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Katwa. Honorable members, I think we gave governor's team, that's like 2 hours, I think 1 hour 50 minutes, but we all agree that there was a lot of point of orders. So the floor now is open for debate and contribution, and thereafter, of course, I will also guide on the other process. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate and contribution. The leader of majority, the leader of majority. And as we contribute, let us try to confine ourselves to the substantive motion before us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the representatives of His Excellency the Governor and the Governor himself. Maybe, Mr. Speaker, before I table my submissions maybe to support the motion, Mr. Speaker, you will allow me to inform the House, Mr. Speaker, of the current incidents that has occurred, Mr. Speaker. I think you've been seeing me going out and coming in, Mr. Speaker. It's because of some very serious emergencies, and this will concern the safety of the honorable members. Maybe before you decide, before we finish discussing this motion, it is good to take note that our gate B, Mr. Speaker, I was called upon by the Sergeant at Arms together with the security teams that, and I read the statement, Mr. Speaker, that at around 10:50 a.m. this morning, an unfortunate incident occurred within the presence of the County Assembly of Kericho. A vehicle registration number KAH075Y, a county government vehicle, boarded and accompanied by close to 50 goods, Mr. Speaker, driven by non-Tiber, because it's a government vehicle, Mr. Speaker, rammed into gate P of the Assembly. The vehicle is mounted with public address system, which is always used by the governor's press team. Mr. Speaker, Assembly officers manning and other working in the kitchen were almost injured, Mr. Speaker, as they scampered for safety. Over 10 police officers who witnessed firsthand the incident. We wish to thank the National Police Service officers who acted promptly toward the attempt, which aimed at forcing their entry in the Assembly and causing injury to the honorable members of the County Assembly as well as the staff. We further wish to thank especially the DCI department, Mr. Speaker. They've told the vehicle that is normally used by the county executive, that vehicle, KAH, it is used for public address issues, Mr. Speaker. It has been told to the police, and the goods has been dispersed, and so far, 5 have been apprehended, and they are in the custody, Mr. Speaker. So it is good for the information of your own safety that this is a weighty matter, that you need to be very careful, even as you move out, because if you see these people trying to come, run into the gate, Mr. Speaker, we have the kitchen closer to that gate, so it is always good maybe for the honorable members and the staff of the County Assembly that even immediately we finish on this, it is a security matter, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me now, Mr. Speaker, maybe the concerned committees, Mr. Speaker, since it is a county government vehicle, Mr. Speaker, we know the issues of work tickets. It is signed always by the chief officers, Mr. Speaker. We have the transport officers and the activities of that vehicle, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the issue. We need, maybe immediately after this, Mr. Speaker, we take the actions to that effect, Mr. Speaker, because it's something that touches on the lives of the people. Now, Mr. Speaker, in supporting the motion, Mr. Speaker, of today, Mr. Speaker, one, the motion mover, Mr. Speaker, has elaborated on so many things, Mr. Speaker. It should not be diverted, Mr. Speaker, that the key reason why we are here today, Mr. Speaker, I want to decline or oppose what His Excellency the Governor said about the whistleblower, Mr. Speaker. The whistleblower, if you see, we have the rights to information, Mr. Speaker, to address and the likes. If the whistleblower is against the corruption, you will not say he should be seated waiting for other agencies to come when he or she has seen, Mr. Speaker, that there is a very serious corruption in our county. Mr. Speaker, I'm in the budget committee. In many times, Mr. Speaker, we try to get even a small figure, a small amount, Mr. Speaker, to take to our people. When you see a total investment, Mr. Speaker, close to 85 million, it's not a small thing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm the leader of majority of this county assembly. And in this case, Mr. Speaker, our party leader, who is His Excellency the President, while remembered by Mr. Speaker, pronounced himself on issues of corruption, Mr. Speaker. He talks of coercion and corrupting various committees of different houses, Mr. Speaker, to condone the corruption. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, he distanced himself on these issues of corruption. I'll call all the honorable members, Mr. Speaker. I know each and every individual member of this county assembly that when it comes to a matter of corruption, we were elected or selected to this county assembly to represent the interests of our people and make sure that we do legislation that will take monies to the people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I say by honorable matter to Mr. Speaker, I think it's only in the legal departments, Mr. Speaker, that at times you have to do the deposit before you are represented by legal counsels, Mr. Speaker. But when it comes to government procurements, Mr. Speaker, you do the work. The only person that is allowed, Mr. Speaker, the government, Mr. Speaker, in this case, should not pay you before you render services. Mr. Speaker, the CEC in charge of agriculture, Mr. Speaker, has been moving around, cheating the public that the issue of total time in Capsa House Ward, Mr. Speaker, that they could not supply the full, as per the POQs, Mr. Speaker, bill of quantities, and the full quantities, Mr. Speaker, to total time cooperative society, basically because they don't have stock, basically because some of these raw materials will expire. I was wondering, Mr. Speaker, whether the members of total time cooperative societies, Mr. Speaker, have even one animal or two. I think a cooperative society is such a huge society, and that's why before procuring those things, Mr. Speaker, they must have seen the need from and the request from that cooperative society before they supplied those fees, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a case that payments was made around February, Mr. Speaker, but the supplies was done immediately. The whistleblower, Mr. Speaker, blown the whistle, and the committee in this house, Mr. Speaker, was formed by yours truly, the honorable majority leader, Mr. Speaker. Before the members proceed, Mr. Speaker, is when they decided to supply, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even as we try to defend the issues of corruption, Mr. Speaker, it needs extraneous allowance, Mr. Speaker, for honorable members to defend side things, Mr. Speaker. I want to cite Honorable Paul B, Mr. Speaker. He is the one, Mr. Speaker, we were seated here. He asked me to send the members very fast, Mr. Speaker, to Toronto because things were not going well there, Mr. Speaker. including the floater project that was constructed amounting to 9 million, Mr. Speaker. Yet the cooler there, Mr. Speaker, is fake, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the committee report, the other committee report that was tabled in this House, Mr. Speaker, was adopted unanimously, Mr. Speaker, and I can refer you to the other committee reports, Mr. Speaker, the approval in this House. All the honorable members of this House approves the report and recognize that actually we had lost money through these dubious methods, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, I will wait, Mr. Speaker, to see an honorable member who, during the debate, Mr. Speaker, supported the report. And now, since the report formed part of this impeachment, Mr. Speaker, I'm waiting, Mr. Speaker. Coercion is there, Mr. Speaker. And that's the reason I've been seeing Honorable Katwa Gigen here, Mr. Speaker, insisting that he wants to see these honorable members, Mr. Speaker. We know corruption can even find its way, Mr. Speaker, to this House. So we will be keen to see the members of this county assembly, Mr. Speaker, voting to support the corruption, Mr. Speaker. Katwa Gigen has got the right, Mr. Speaker. That is his profession, Mr. Speaker. But for a honorable member who would represent that Namaboga, Mr. Speaker, who says on the highway, Mr. Speaker, we collect tax, then we take services back to them, Mr. Speaker. When we see people stealing and we support those honorable members, I am waiting for that time, Mr. Speaker, to see these honorable members. That's why yesterday they did, and I was quoting, Mr. Speaker, that during the election of the speakers of the county assembly, which you are among them, Mr. Speaker, I remember there is one honorable aspirant of the speaker at that time, Mr. Speaker, had locked close to 31 members of this county assembly in Kisumu, Mr. Speaker. But coming to real voting in the House, Mr. Speaker, the speaker got only 12 votes, Mr. Speaker. So I will not be surprised, Mr. Speaker. The reason why these people are insisting on different methods of voting, Mr. Speaker, is because of coercion and corruption that has found roots to this House, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, you will allow me, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, protect me, and I will give you to speak. Order. So this is continue prosecute your point. Everyone members must learn to tolerate. Mr. Speaker, we have your time. We had a refurbishment of county council houses, Mr. Speaker. That now the county government houses, Mr. Speaker. You know the issues of asbestos, and the mayor Katwa Gigen knows the effects. According to the research, it has been found that the asbestos, Mr. Speaker, that's the reason immediately we removed, Mr. Speaker. We buried them almost 8 feet down the ground, Mr. Speaker, because it infects the human being with the issues of lung cancers, Mr. Speaker. And for that reason, lungs. So it could, Mr. Speaker, that we refurbished those houses, Mr. Speaker. But to our surprise, Mr. Speaker, people were paid before works were done in Kipkelian town, Mr. Speaker, a sub-county where I come from, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we talk of public participation, we've been doing several public participation, Mr. Speaker. I'm not a member of Lands Committee, Mr. Speaker. But at times, Mr. Speaker, it beats logic that you purchase a piece, even the biggest hotel, the 5-star hotel that we know in this country, Mr. Speaker, cannot afford even to sell a piece of soda at a cost of 500 shillings, Mr. Speaker. I don't know now, the common manage who came for public participation could even take a soda worth Kenya shillings, 500 shillings, Mr. Speaker. That's why I say defending this corruption need extraneous allowance, Mr. Speaker. And for this case, Mr. Speaker, I kindly request that whoever will be protecting this corruption, Mr. Speaker, needs to charge the culprits the highest amount, Mr. Speaker, because this is the biggest job I have ever seen. I submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leader of Majority. Of course, I gave you more time because you are the Leader of Majority. Now, moving forward, I'll be giving not more than 5 minutes to a member in that order. Honorable Dominic, Honorable Paul Kiptau B, and then Honorable Dominic. Yes. Let us stick to 5 minutes, and you restrain yourself to the matter of the motion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me this chance
to speak on behalf of people of Kapsaos, because I've been adversely mentioned, Honorable Speaker, on the issue, and I'll narrow myself to the issue of Toroitany. Honorable Speaker, it's shocking to see people talking about Toroitany. The person standing before you is the initiator of Toroitany. And I'm the area MCA, and I know what Toroitany is all about. Yes, indeed, I did actually talk to the majority leader that some people visit Toroitany. But I didn't say that there was anything lost in Toroitany. And indeed, Honorable Speaker, with the report that was tabled by the ad hoc committee, yes, I did support it in full. But I wanted Governor to be given time to implement the recommendations made by that committee. It's not about, impeaching Governor.
Yes.
And that is my stand. Yes. Toroitany, Honorable Speaker, as I stand here, we have about 600 members. And initially when we started, we had relocated to someone's quarters. In the previous program, that is the Kenya Climate Smart, funded the society. And the society got a formulating machine that assisted them to stand. So when the program started, when the county government wanted to supply what was supposed to be taken to Toroitany, and I want to say it clearly here, and I have minutes for the same. If you want me to supply, you would minutes, Honorable Speaker. The committee, that is the officials, had to sit and decided on where to get the money to build the store. It was not about, there was some embezzlement of money in Toroitany. Immediately when the store was finished, Honorable Speaker, the first budget of supplies went to Toroitany. And when the whistleblower, the next batch was supplied to Toroitany. Number two, Honorable Speaker, the cooler which was supplied to Toroitany. We are laymen. We doesn't understand, what the right cooler is. Now, the serial members, we have to send it to KEPS to confirm, if the cooler that is in Toroitany is the right one.
Yes.
And, Honorable Speaker, when the day report fellows visited Toroitany, and the KCC fellows, they did confirm that the same cooler has been supplied to many places in Pomet.
Yes.
And that is why we had to accept, and as we speak right now, Honorable Speaker, the cooler is working, and the farmers, have supplied milk to the same cooler, and now KCC are collecting milk from the same society as we speak. And that is why I said yesterday, or the day before yesterday, that the farmers are working very hard. Gentlemen, let's not do politics. You're doing politics. This is politics, pure politics. It's me who understands Toroitany more than you. Don't talk of something you don't know.
Yes.
Talk of Kerimoi. You almost close Kerimoi. My good friends, talk of your societies. Don't talk of anybody's society. It's me who understands my society. Governor will not go anywhere, and I want to thank him because Governor has really done a lot, in my word. Thank you, and may God bless. I oppose in totality the motion of impeachment to His Excellency the Governor. Thank you.
Order. Let us not agree. Order. Let us not. Order, the Deputy Speaker. You are among the leaders of this assembly. Order. Honorable members, we are live, by the way. and we are being followed. So I'll urge you to debate in a manner, of course, that will reflect your title of being honorable members. And secondly, this is a warning. This is a very strong warning that there is no shouting, use of unparliamentary language. Don't invite the chair to make some decisions that will not go well with you, honorable members. I really want you to be in this house, all of you. So let us avoid the shouting. There's a way of applauding, and you know very well how to do it. But the standing orders does not tell us that you should shout and say yes or all those things. So let us debate with decorum, and we stick to the timeline. When we say 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. So next is Honorable Dominic Mutahi. 5 minutes, please. Please stick to the rule of debate. Order. I want to repeat order. That was my last warning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for giving me this chance. I want to register and say from the onset that I oppose the motion. There was on Facebook that I voted yes. And in the time of voting, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to register my opposing to the motion of impeachment of Dr. Erick Mutahi, and I want my vote to be respected. Mr. Speaker, sir, we were here when we were debating about the other committee report on fictitious, and all of us supported it. The recommendation which was there, and each and every issue had recommendation on it. One of the recommendation was we give the governor and the contractors 28 days to finish what they are supplying and what they were doing. And it is in record, it has a record in this house. Mr. Speaker, sir, when we are playing politics, it needs to be politics, and when there is development, it needs to be development. What we have been doing recently is politics and development. No one will condone corruption. But when we are doing corruption, when we are doing politics and talking about corruption, people will not take us serious. We are the third assembly. The first assembly did an impeachment to the governor by then. We are here trying to break the record in this country that we are the champion of impeachment. There are more developments which our people need. There's a lot of people issues. We are the one who is doing budget. The executive are the one who is executing the budget. There is a lot we need to do to our people. Me, as the elected MCA from Kabianga, I will not support impeachment now and in the future. Last year we did impeachment. We didn't finish on our budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, my good neighbor Agon, he has been talking about my ward. I'm the only elected member of Kabianga ward. And those people so fit that I'm being elected to represent the interest here. And I want to ask the motion mover that to leave my ward. I know to lobby for my ward. I know to become friend to. I can lobby from the national government. Our projects are lobby from the national government. When I'm doing the corridors in Nairobi, which are ministries.
There is a point of order, Honorable Dominic, and when you will resume, you will have 1.5 minutes so that you use your 5 minutes. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on a point of order, pursuant to Standing Order number 98. That is a statement of facts. One of the projects that we visited as a committee on environment is